First of all, I want to take a moment to thank you guys, Brian, Cowboy, Melissa, and Mansur for joining me on Wrappin With Tate. This is going to be like the first episode of me actually trying to do this. So I will be a little bit nervous. It will be weird, but I don't want you guys to like trip out. This is just like a round table, so we're just going to have fun with it. And so ask questions and introduce each other. Brian, like, tell us about you first, just so we know what we're dealing with you and why, how we know each other and how you relate to all this situation, this mess.
I'm just a manager.
You're not just a manager. Like
you got to own that thing. That's SuckerPunch. Come on.
Yeah, Brian is amazing. Like I said, Brian SuckerPunch. So, like I said, he takes care of us.
He keeps us out in the business.
There you go.
Would you consider being a manager similar to being a babysitter, or?
Yeah, on a pro level. On pro level of babysitting.
Really? So is it harder managing when they get to the pro level versus being...
No. It's the same. It's the same amount of work on both sides. It's just everybody's personality is different. So you got to get to know, I like to get to know my clients. I get to know their personalities. Like, these are two very different personalities right here.
Okay.
And then, then I guess that determines the level of babysitting that's actually...
Is it different managing female fighters versus male fighters?
Yeah, 100%.
Really? Like, what's some of the... Because for me, I only see fighter. Like, I don't... And I'm only with them for a limited time unless I'm goofing off with them, whatever. But I don't see them on the personal level like you do. So what do you think are the big differences?
I mean, yeah, that's a good question, because I want to say that the girls have different emotional reactions to some things. Like when you are told about a matchup, a lot of the times. Now Melissa is different. She's
no. Don't get her off the hook. She's a woman.
I'm not, but she's. Like you said, when you met her, she's different. She's just quirky and funny all the time. Like, she does hard weight cuts. She's still smiling type thing, But a lot of times with women, their reactions are more emotional.
Okay.
And men are, men are kind of dull to a lot of it, and then they just get their own levels of anxiety and their own levels of. Everybody has that, but women are just slightly different, I think. And I've been managing women, since before Ronda. I was one of the first managers to have women on my roster.
You had a roster. Like, at one point when you were managing several of the women, we used to joke. I know I joked. I was like, Brian, you need to have a calendar, because you had like all the hot female fighters. And I was like, bro, you need to make a calendar. And then like all of his female fighters were like funny kind of. And they would post, they would do crazy things like Angela and Jessica, but they would always be on social media. And I was like, man, you gotta do a calendar, but he never did. But I tried talking to it, but again, dealing with the manager side, because you don't really have a lot of managers that. Most good managers, I think, typically do stand in the back. They want to give their fighters the limelight. But, what's the part of the manager's aspect of fighting that we don't see? Like, when you call them, because they don't get called directly for a fight. It goes you, and then you call them, right? Yeah. So how does that work? Like, how does it work when you're talking to your fighter about a fight?
Honestly, like I said, it's the best part of the job. I could be having a completely crappy week, and then I get the phone call that I get to call, Melissa, it was long overdue, should have been in a while ago, and I get to call and tell her that she's in. Same thing with Mansur. It's time to go, and usually what I'll do is if I ever don't love that part of the job, then it's probably time for me to go.
Yeah.
So I'll usually try to FaceTime and, record, because I want to keep the reaction and save it for them. So I try to do stuff like that, but I do that as much for them as I do for me, because I truly do love that part. But yeah, I mean, the call comes to me. It's usually a lot of work, a lot of grind on the regional scene, a lot of waiting, a lot of patience. And I know you obviously felt like you deserved to be there before we got the call.
Yeah.
And I also tell fighters that last, someone could be in training and fighting for like 8 years, but that last 6 months when the call is around the corner seems like another 6 years. It's the longest time of your career is that moment right before you're about to get called in.
Yeah, it seems like it takes forever to get that point, because you're on like a short list or you're on a call list. You're waiting. And
it's brutal.
Yeah, it's a beat.
You can attest to that, yeah.
So, no, go ahead.
No, and then when you do get to make that call, even when you have fighters and they get a certain fight, that are established, and you've got a certain fight you get to call them with. It's like it's such
With
a good feeling.
those career level ups. Yeah.
When we got like Kev and I when we fought Chimaev on 24 hours notice, and made him a phone number, a pile of money. It's like, that was a wild day. Those are life-changing milestone moments where you're like, you get to have that interaction. Like, you get to put that together for these guys. It's a good feeling.
It's a great feeling.
Whether they're brand new or established, whatever it is.
So, I know you're fighting tomorrow, so I don't want to take up too much time. You just came off of a win. It was UFC 323, right?
Yep.
First round finish, submission on a Brazilian that was considered tough. And, I mean, you made it look easy. So, educate me on you, like Mansur, because, like, I know everybody sings your praises from Eric to them. So, educate me about you. You're a D1 wrestler. Mm-hmm. And, like, would you say he took the long route because you went Contender and then came to the UFC?
Yeah.
Okay. And then all finishes. But, like, so what is it like for you? Like, you're a D1 wrestler, right? And you got to understand, like, there's a bunch of D1 wrestlers. So after you're done wrestling, there was a lot of times it was the Olympics, right? Or then it was just find a job and either coach or whatever. What was it before MMA got introduced to you? What was the plan after Maryland?
There was no time where MMA was not introduced to me. Like, a lot of people don't know, wrestling was something that my dad wanted me to do, and I wanted to do it too, but he wanted me to do that because being a UFC world champion has always been up here. That's the goal.
Okay.
Ever since I was 7 years old.
Wow.
Like, the only reason, like, I didn't even want to wrestle at first because I thought, like, when I was young, I was like, this isn't a real martial art. This doesn't make me feel like a ninja.
Okay.
Before as I got, like, a little bit older and everything, and I understood it more, and I understood that that's the base. Like, being able to wrestle, being able to control where the fight goes, being able to grapple, being able to understand different body weight and different positions, and being able to control someone else's frame in addition to yours. That's what you need to have. And then that can flow over into all disciplines, and some disciplines can't really flow into wrestling like that. So it's always been on the path. It's never been like, okay, now I got to transition over to MMA. If anything, when I was in college and when I was in high school and I was sitting in lectures and I was looking at prompts on the board and I was seeing other people in class, I was the most frustrated person in the world, because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking of all the different people that are competing in MMA. I'm seeing all the different wrestlers that are transitioning to MMA, and they're talking about the new wave of MMA, and they're talking about, oh, well, this fighter is coming over from wrestling and he's so good, and wrestling helps him with this. I'm like, I am the prodigy in my mind. In no arrogant way. I'm like, literally, relevant experience-wise, take it all the way back. I've done this since I could speak clear words and concise sentences. Like, this is me. I feel like I am that MMA fighter. I am that person that they're speaking about when the commentators are speaking, when I'm watching all the pay-per-views, when we didn't even have money. Man, I feel like I am that guy. So finally, when it was time for me to take a step away from college wrestling, I got into a fight, the last tournament, and I was like, that's the sign right there. Lo and behold, Brian Hamper, another one of my managers, was at the tournament, and I've known him for a long time too. I've known him since I was 14 years old, so the end was right there. It's all been like a perfect little storm to get to that destiny, and now I'm here, but it hasn't felt like something super, super strenuous or something that I need to consider. And okay, I'm going to MMA, or I'm doing this, I'm making this new leap and this new jump. It's always been on the path, and I've always been clear on exactly where I wanted to go. A lot of people are like, well, you're so blessed, and you can be happy because you know exactly where you want to go. Thank you. I am blessed and I am grateful, and I've always had a clear picture of exactly where I wanted to go, and I'm going to make those steps in order to get to where I want to be.
That's because you're the blueprint.
We're trying to get that name. So I asked you the same question with you, Melissa. Like, what was it for you? Because, like, Mansur's 28. And I think, Brian, would this be considered a late start, or are they still kind of in their prime right now for MMA?
Mansur's young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Prime for my age and my weight class, that might be like 32, 33.
Okay, wow. And so I asked you the same question. Like, what was it that led you down the MMA path? Was it something you always knew you were going to do, or was it just like...
No, it's not something I always knew I was going to do, but when I did find MMA as, I guess you could say, something that felt like home to me, it was something that I had chased kind of piece by piece and step by step, and it kind of like blossomed into this idea of a dream to get signed into the UFC. So it's like everything I've done in my life has always been, has felt like kind of like how you described, like this is clear. I'm very clear on what I'm going to do, but like I have a very singular mind when I set goals.
Okay.
And when I set my mind on this, it was like I kind of like blacked everything else out in my life and did everything that I thought was necessary to get myself in the position to achieve this dream of mine, much like other goals I've had in my life and stuff. So it's always been like, my sister can, if you ever had met her, she would say the same thing. Like, it's once I have an idea or a goal, it's really, really difficult to stop me from actually making it come to fruition. So, so it's not something that I always knew I wanted to do, but I think like ever since I was little, like having that stubborn personality and just always wanting more meaning and more, more, I guess, generally more meaning from life, and like not just doing what everybody else is doing. It's something that's always been me, I guess.
So you were just born to fight. It just was something in you that said, I want to do this.
Yeah, and like even when I was little and involved in sports, like team sports, like I had friends, but I was definitely like an odd kid growing up. And team sports, like just I didn't feel like I fit in. I didn't grow up in team sports. I didn't know how the dynamic worked and whatnot. But when I did martial arts, however, it was something I was practicing my cat is in my room kind of thing, like a big nerd.
Really?
So yeah, like it was something I was like, oh, like I can do this. Like this is me. And like my coach, I was terrified of my coach too. He was like this this giant Ugandan man. Yeah, I was terrified of him. And I think like having that fear and respect for your coach like made me want to do well and like made me want to like be disciplined in this thing to like get my next belt and stuff like that. Because for me it was exciting, and I think kids like having those like incremental goals. So it was just kind of like a pattern in my life, I guess. But yeah, it's just something that spoke to me and kind of petered off a bit. I did kickboxing too when I was younger. Never competed. But later on in life found myself in an MMA gym and just was like, oh, okay, this is what I'm doing now. Because it's funny because I applied after I went to college for EMS, got my license to practice, then was working on the oil rigs in Alberta as a medic. And then training, because the oil rigs were like the only job I could get. So you make really good money out there. And I'm like, oh, I'm making all this good money. Like maybe I'll go back to school for something. And so I put in my application for the art college in Alberta and got accepted to art school. And because I wanted to get my master's in painting is what I was leaning towards. And then I found myself at this big crossroad where it's like, you can go and get your BFA, your Bachelor of Fuck All, Fine Art, or you can become like a legit warrior. So I was like, I have to do that. Like it's gonna be how I express myself. And like from that day, I remember thinking to myself, I'm like still becoming an artist, like martial arts, but now it's like the canvas is the octagon and my medium is blood. So
however you paint that, however you word it. Brian, what's it like calling these people? Because like her journey, like whose journey, they both had journeys to get there. What's it like to call a fighter that's been working for that and say, hey, I got you a fight in, where were we at? Vancouver. Mm-hmm. It's like, what's that like for you?
Debut or?
Yeah, that was her debut, right?
Yeah. Or should it, are you talking about like now?
No, like I'm talking about UFC. Like
next call up that we already got.
Wow, that's bro. Like, so like,
there you go.
So like, what I'm asking, my question is like, you've already said it's excited. Like, what's it like for you, Melissa, for Brian? You've been waiting. You're on the rig and you're fighting and you've accomplished so much, and finally your manager calls you and says, hey, we're fighting in Vancouver and this is who we're fighting. I know, did you even think about, what was your thought? Like, do you run? Do you scream to the coaches? Do you jump up? Do you hug? What do you do when you get that call from him saying we're fighting in Vancouver?
Oh gosh, it was like, yeah, that experience was super intense. I don't know if you felt that way, but like for me, it was really intense because it was such a lead up to that phone call. And when I spoke to Brian, like, of course I was excited and whatnot, but as soon as we hung up the phone, I was like weeping. I've never cried like that in my life. It was crazy. Because,
relief.
Yeah, it was like, holy shit, like this is actually happening. And like I had to pull over because I was driving. And I was just like ugly crying.
You ugly cried?
So it was like from like a guttural, like from the depths of my soul, like everything I felt every moment, like all the years, like what, 12 years of this, like every memory I was like feeling all at one time. I was just like,
Wow, that's what that.
This out.
It's
and it was like
all those years of camps and of the fucking roller coaster, the whole game.
And wondering, did I make a horrible mistake?
Damn,
like,
should I have been a BFA?
Yeah, like exactly. Bachelor of Fine Art.
Well, she went straight in too. She didn't go Contender
Right,
series.
that's
with a full camp, which was
which is rare. I wasn't expecting that at all.
because I actually met you in Miami.
Yes. And I was like, give me some of your chips.
That was the first time yeah.
Chips.
Dude, and like I was looking at you and I just remember, and Brian was like, yo, because like you were yoked. Like I was like, fuck, like
she's still yoked.
She's like, I was like,
don't let
damn.
this granny sweater for
Yeah, like it was impressive. So I was like, again, congratulations. I'll come back to that. And for you, you did Contender.
Yep.
So is it the same thing getting taught to the Contender? Because I actually got to watch you win at the Contender and then Dana tell you to get over here. So like, having them call you, be like, hey, man, I got you a fight. It's not in the UFC. It's on the Contender. Is that still the same thing? Or like, what is it? What's going through when you, because like you said, you knew from the age 7.
Yep.
So we're here. So what's going on now when you get this, you're doing the Contender?
Honestly, when I got that message, I was so upset. Like I was so angry when it happened. That's like with any fight. Like it's a lot more even now. It's like, as soon as they'll text me something, I'm like, party. Yes. Let's go. Like simple 1-word text. I'll put the phone down, go drink my coffee. As simple as that. But for Contender series, of course, there was like a lot of build up. Now we're finally having the opportunity to do this. I remember I like threw the phone down. I just started clenching my fists and like gritting my teeth because I was just so upset that person wasn't in front of me right then and there. It was like, all right, this is the amount of weeks or the amount of months I have to continue to prepare because I'm always training, but to continue to prepare for this opportunity. And I'm just like, I swear I was just like upset. I was so angry, man. It was just it gets me upset now thinking about it.
Bro, calm down.
He's gonna go train right now.
Thinking about it, and of course you have all the emotions and all the stuff, just the journey, the years, the training, and then you get numb to it. And then you don't even feel that stuff and you just grind and grind and grind. The grind becomes normal. Then it becomes your personality. And then you don't even want to express those feelings and all that stuff to people because they can't even grasp the weight of like what it truly means. Not even to fight or to work out or to sweat.
Just to go in there day in, day out.
And then to hold on to a dream that you literally cannot see. Like you can only picture it in your mind. You can only tell yourself stories and listen to the good words of other people inside your small circle. But for it to finally happen, the only feeling that I was feeling in that moment for like a good 2 minutes was just anger. I swear. But then it calmed down. I was like, all right, this is a beautiful opportunity. I'm going to go and get this. And that was the plan in my mind. And it was just certainty. I knew that if I got the opportunity to do this, it was going to be on my path. I was going to blow through whoever. And that's how I feel exactly. I feel exactly the same for any fight.
And you two are both like obviously educated, eloquent, articulate individuals. That you're like taking a little page out of her book and verbally painting an ass whipping picture right there with your words about like there's anger.
He was on the UFC radar on his pro debut though. Like we knew right away when you saw him train, when you saw his amateur fights, you're just like,
I remember seeing him in the Contour. in the Contender. And it's crazy because like, I'm like weird. I remember things, but I remember your father, right? And he was sitting there and he was just like, let's go. And your dad is intense. Like he was, and I was like, okay. And I was watching you and then I watched Eric and I'm watching you perform. And it's crazy because like, I'm watching you like manhandle another man. Which was crazy. And then like you win, but then you're like over there and like watching you, like, it's crazy because you're calm with the glasses. And even both of y'all both wear glasses. Like, to people watching this, like, these are not the people you run up on, like, talking shit to, because, like, y'all can snap and hurt people. And it's crazy because y'all look normal. Like, y'all are like Clark Kent's right now. Y'all don't have your Superman shit on.
It's true.
But, like, I just remember watching you and even watching Eric. And Eric, everybody, the same thing has been said about you. You're special. And so I watched you the first time. I watched you, like, take that guy. I watched you shoot in the Contender. And, like, you blew through the guy. And I'm like, holy shit, like, this is crazy, you know? And I know, like, I remember your Contender performance. For me, it wasn't, I know it wasn't as dominating as you wanted to be because you wanted to finish. Then the guy was tough, but I just remember, like, you manhandling this person. And then, like, when Dana called you to come over there, I'm not going to say you look happy, but all I see from you is, like, there's something else I got to do. Like, I don't feel like, so what's it going to be when you get the belt? At that moment, do we go, I did it? Or you just, like, I'm not saying you're not happy, and I'm not saying you're not content. I'm just saying, like, you are purpose-driven, and you can see it. You know, we're, like, even talking to you about fighting, your veins are starting to pop out. So it's like, damn, what?
Calm down.
So, like, I ask you again, do you remember the first fight in the UFC? Like, do you remember, like, what was it like making that walk, hearing your song, getting into the cage and seeing that person standing across from you?
It's the most beautiful, empty feeling I've ever felt in my entire life. 2 fights. So we got the debut and then we got Contender Series. Contender Series, I'm not even thinking about winning. So you have people that want to win, then you have people that want to dominate, and then you have people that want to hurt. And there's like 3 tiers. And in my mind, I just wanted to hurt him. And for months, I was visualizing the specific scenario of me grabbing him right underneath his chin and just elbowing him as hard as I possibly could, as many times as I possibly could, and just seeing if I could put a dent inside of his forehead. And that's exactly what I did at one point in the fight. So forget the win, forget any of that.
He's got a mom, right?
I say this a lot. Are you fucking crazy? Just like,
you know, there's a fine line. There's a little bit of Dexter coming out.
I don't know what I am, but it's like, but in the most beautiful way, in the most honest way, not trying to be fake or cool.
No, bro, I love it. I love what you're doing. I love that you're being raw and very honest.
The romanticization and the intimacy of fighting. When you can hear someone else breathing heavy, when you can see them trying to be calm, when you can see the intensity in their eyes, when you can see them taking a back step, when you can see their emotions, when you know your own emotions, when you know if you're faking something, and when you know if you're trying to be honest, and you know you have intent, that's the stuff that I remember. Those are the feelings that I remember. And those are the things that build me up. In terms of like winning like a belt one day, God willing, that's probably going to be one of the hardest things ever, because then it's like, what's next? In my mind, I'm always like this.
Right.
So you got the belt. Of course, you got title defenses and handling everything in the correct way and trying to conduct yourself as the man that you said you were going to be before you got this opportunity. But that's probably going to be one of the hardest things, because disappointment will probably come into play. And it's like, when I'm not fighting, not that I get into trouble, but I'm just like, this feels horrible. It's been how many days since my fight? It's been less than a week.
Yes.
And I have felt, I'm always feeling amazing, but it's like, I just feel different, man. It's like, I'll just be sitting on the couch drinking coffee, getting ready for my next training session. I'm just like, what is this? Like, I do not want to do this. Like, I need to fight. A lot of people say they feel anxiety or they associate all these different negative emotions with fighting. It's the most clear and the most peaceful thing besides praying to God that I can think of. It's literally that liberating to me. Being nervous and being excited are the same feelings, same sweat on your brow, same goosebumps, same elevated heart rate. It's just what you put on it. It's what you make it to be. It's what you decide you want it to be. And a lot of people can't even grasp that. They can't even think about that. Well, I'm just feeling this negative feeling. No, you're feeling this feeling because you read somewhere that this is how you feel in this situation. Block all that stuff out. Block out everything external. Think about what you truly feel and make it good. Put a positive connotation on that. Feel those good feelings and then have that move you forward. But man, the memories that I remember and the things that I think about are really feelings. It's just familiar feelings that come into play when I'm training or when I'm getting ready for another fight. I don't think about getting my hand raised, even though I'm extremely grateful for every single one of those things, because who knows when someone's time is up, you could have an injury and never be able to compete again.
Okay.
So I'm very grateful for every single one of these experiences and all the opponents that come in there to fight me as well. But I think of things and feelings, and you can't take these feelings away. You can't take these good moments away. I cannot take these hugs that I give my father after a fight away. So these are the things that I remember. But I just think of things as feelings, as intimacy, and I love romanticizing them until I get to do it again.
Do you like, I did this riding bulls. I try to do this with my fighters and stuff. And it's kind of like taking them back to peak performance moments and putting them back in the right mindset. Like, so do you channel that back or go back to those same scenarios and kind of go through your cycle of when you did what you thought was the best or performed your best? Do you kind of like bring those feelings back out and try to recreate that?
I never try to do that stuff. I know a lot of people do that, but that almost like creates a routine. And then you start to rely on that routine. And that routine could work. That could be the game plan. That could be the thing that makes you be where you need to be in order to fight. But in my mind, I want to think about something a little bit more intense. I want to think about real life. Someone comes to you up on the street. Oh man, I gotta tie my shoes 3 times. I gotta warm up. I gotta shake out my shoulders. It's like not as serious as I'm making it out to be, but I think about things like that. I'm going out to fight and compete against another man. He's coming to hurt me. I want to do the exact same thing to him, if not more. I'm ready right now in this moment, sitting in this chair. That's what I think about. Ready at all times, prepared at all times, not just in body, but in my mind. Like, you need to be able to flip that switch. Someone's trying to hurt you. You need to be able to hurt them even more to clear out the situation totally and fully. So I don't rely on any routines at all. If anything, I just make this my entire life. Maybe that's why I'm speaking the way I'm speaking now, because this is not just for a fight. This is not being a fighter. This is not being an athlete or a martial artist. I just want to do this for life. I'd be this person, if not more of me, if that makes sense. Even without being a fighter, this is me totally and fully. And I just love every single bit of it. And I will not place my essence on being a fighter or place my essence on being a martial artist. Like I said before to someone, I just think a lot, and I'd be this exact same person, if not more, even without this.
Really? But even through thinking, you're building a routine, because you can't hit your D1 shot without drilling it.
True.
You can't be a martial artist without, practicing a kick 1,000 times.
That's very true.
We do hit our routines. We do hit peak performance trigger moments. You got one. We talk about fighting. Veins pop out.
Oh, bro.
Ian, 100%. That's, matter of fact, you're absolutely right. Positivity. Positivity, gratitude, and feeling things in a good way. And if anything, trying to cultivate myself outside of being a fighter, that might be a little bit of a routine, because I know that being a fighter can be one of the most selfish things in the world. Pull yourself away from people that you're close to.
Yeah.
Block off everything else. I need to do this at this time. Get out of my face. Get away from me. Not answering texts, not answering calls. So when you kind of get into a routine of breaking that routine and being kind to someone, giving someone a call for no reason at all, trying to break that average fighter idea.
Yeah.
That's something I try to do on a consistent basis. So you're right about that.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, sometimes we ugly cry when we get the text.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, do you remember when you were asking me how exciting it was to call them and tell them they're born?
This you just unleashed hell on the girl.
I want to say something that with him it was different, because it was Contender Series, and Contender Series kind of takes a little bit of the.
That's kind of what I want. You get the call from the UFC, but it's like it's like you're going out for the hot chick, but it's her sister.
What was exciting?
That's the ugly twin.
What was exciting with him was we've been working with him since the beginning, so we've seen him go from gym to gym. We've recommended him go from gym to gym, and me, Hamper, and Creech will sit around. It's like, how long he's been there for a week? We should call and see how he's doing. The fun part would be calling the coach and be like, "How do you do?
Yeah,
how do you do against your pros?"
Oh, that's
because we're like, I'm waiting to hear he's fucking people up.
Where'd you wrestle at?
University of
Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a kid that he went over to Crutchmer's the other day, and he's 3-fight amateur. We're trying like hell to get him a pro fight, but nobody will. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to fight you anymore.
Yeah.
He was at Campbell. And, I mean, it's hard to get these guys fights after a while when they're stud wrestlers on top of it all. And then you do. I know that feeling where you call and you're like, so what happened with my guy?
Then I finally got him over to Nixick, and then I let him sit there for a few. Then I called Nixick. I'm like,
Oh, Eric.
It's actually fun rapping you. Like when you rap a guy for Eric, Eric's like, this is like Eric likes.
Yeah, and he'll tell you the
Eric's
great truth.
Melissa, what about you? What do you remember from your debut, like in Vancouver, in Canada, fighting? You come out, like, what do you remember about being in that cage, standing across Bruce Buffer? Was it Buffer announcing? Who was it? Was Joe Martinez or?
Was it Joe Martinez?
I think it may have been Bruce. I'm not sure, but
No, I don't think he was there.
what do you remember about that cage? Your first time in the cage, like, what do you remember about it?
I was just living in the moment, fully present, and
Did you hear the pin drop? Did it get cold? Like, we want to know for you fighters, like, does the hair stand up? Like, what is it? Is it like a euphoric? I know what you went crazy. I know what you did. Like, yeah. But, like, I'm saying, like, for you, like, is it like, I've been waiting for this moment? Like, how's it? I want to know, and you guys, like, what song do you pick out? Like, because it's funny, like, I've had fighters, like Rashad will be on here. Like if Rashad hears victory, Biggie Smalls, like you can see him like what song is it? What do you remember about your moment, your debut? What do you remember about it?
I do. Yeah, the biggest thing I could say is I was just soaking in every second I was in there. I know it's like a very rare thing for a human being to experience being a UFC fighter. So I was fully present. I remember before we walked out and made our walk to the cage, generally when I walk out, I'm pretty stoic and like stone-faced and don't smile a whole lot because I'm quite focused. But as soon as I walked out and I saw the crowd and the fans like trying to give me high fives and stuff like that and cheering, it was really hard not to enjoy that part of the experience because that's not something I've ever felt before in such a huge stadium like that. Which,
dude, I still love it. Like I love, like I'm just a cut man, but I love walking to that cage and the fans like Tate, and like it's just like this shit is crazy, and you're just sitting there looking at people, and you're like, I'm not in the cage, but it's like I'm one of the cool kids. Like I'm down there with the cool kids, and like watching you guys walk out, man, because like it's exciting for me. Like it's like I'm telling you, like when I wrap your hands and you guys are successful, it's great. Like, and I love like you don't get injured or whatever, but like being next to you and like you talk about moments. Like man, I remember wrapping your hands. I remember wrapping your hands in Atlanta. Like I remember meeting you. I remember meeting your coaches, and like I'll take those moments with me forever. And that's what it's about to me. So, like, it's great to have you guys because y'all are so new in the sport where it's like, man, what is that like? Making that walk, because not everybody can do that. Like, not everybody can get hit in the face and come forward. So, like, I asked y'all both questions, like, your moment, like, what's it like to knock somebody out? What is it like to choke somebody? What's it like to get hit? Like, what is it in that cage that's going on that we just don't know? Like, what are we experiencing that we don't know that you guys can be like, oh, this is what I've seen. This is what I've done.
I'm a guess when you wrap his hands, he's got his fingerprints freaking shaved off something because it's this.
No, wrapping him, he's like, so like,
He's stoic.
he's simple. Oh, and the grapes come in. Brian, you want to stay? Can you guys come on? Like, I want you guys swap out so I can get you guys.
And
I can go. I have a fight
she's got a fight.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate you for coming. So before we get in this, I know y'all looking at the plan right here. This man right here deals with AI.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So he's not a flat earther, Rashad. Calm down. But he definitely disputes the moon landing, which we'll talk about that. And we got Dean Thomas. You know who Mansur is.
Yeah, I just talked to him last week.
Phil, you're also a fan of the sport, right?
Yeah.
So he's basically writing an algorithm to replace your black ass. Just want you to know. So
yeah.
let us know about AI and what like the stuff that's gonna be scary with us that we don't know that.
Well, I'll just say like I have a lot of friends in the tech industry. Yeah, like you know the most senior levels of Microsoft, Amazon, that sort of thing. And I would say in the next 2 years, probably 30% of all jobs will be wiped out to AI, if not more. And you know the world's going to shit.
Okay.
But that leads to kind of what they're setting up with universal income.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like that might end up having to happen at some point, or people are going to have to figure out how to adapt to that, how to
What
adapt
do you
to this
mean
new world.
universal income? So like make one currency for the universe?
Well, yeah. So there's something called Agenda 2030, and then Agenda 2050, but they're all the same agenda, and it's pretty much just bringing everything into sustainability. There's these Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, and there's 17 or 18 of them, and each of these goals are meant to bring every country in accordance with sustainability, to bring everything to net zero. So there's these things that are going to happen within the next few years, next 5 years, that
He didn't say all that. That's not what he said.
This is
No,
It's kind of like this.
just tell him he's lying.
No,
Dave was like, this is supposed to be funny.
Just tell him he's lying.
I would just say the universal basic income. The idea is that the government will end up paying you to live, because people are going to be so unemployed, and every day
Shit,
better.
I can get that.
That's-
Oh, yeah, I can get that.
White people on welfare too. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna pay you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean that's just part of it. Like there's so much happening in AI right now in the last 60 days. I can tell you that I've been able to build software that would have taken 10 people 2 years to build by myself in a week. Like it's that crazy how things have gone. And
You do realize you're putting us out of work.
No,
You're
man.
okay with that.
Yeah, like
As long as you're good.
unfortunately, no. Let me just say that unfortunately you can't uninvent it, right? So the people that in this industry, we're doing it because it's a national security situation in the U.S. If we're not ahead of the curve, China is going to take over and they're going to win the race, and they are winning the race right now. Like we haven't even gotten to the whole fighting part of it, but the fighting part's where it gets super interesting. Like not only robot fighting. I don't know if you guys have seen these humanoids fighting. They're pretty fucking crazy, right? Like they're really good. I mean, it's fun to watch them. Like they're like doing high kicks.
wait, there's robots that are fighting?
Yeah, and I'm not talking like the old BattleBot stuff. I'm talking like full on.
Look like real shit.
Yeah, they look like real shit, and they're fighting.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
We're done.
We Chinese
It was
right now,
that's a hate.
Have y'all not seen
Terminator?
Terminator? They gave us the bluept for this shit.
it's happening.
Just
It's
fell
happening.
into it, and now he also believe. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize. I didn't mean to-
No. I heard you say that earlier, and you're spot on. You're right. Like it's there's a lot happening in the world right now. I think that there's a population crisis. Like we're not having kids, and and
Shit, Rashad is. We used to talk about it.
oh my goodness, yeah, but like robots. I know it sounds like kind of weird, but like robots are getting to a point now where, like in China, they're putting like real skin on them and stuff, and this whole like the whole evolution of the real doll thing. It's like a full AI robot that people are having sex
I'm down with that. Tell this bitch to shut the fuck up.
Shut up, mouth. Yeah, man. So yeah, not to be a downer, but yeah, that's like there's a lot happening in the world of AI, and it's going to change all our lives. It'll make it better. I mean, yeah, it's a lot like fighters can use it for.
So like when you hear Peter Thiel, and he has a hard time answering the question about does he want humanity to survive, or something along the lines of where does he see humanity, and he kind of like stutters and pauses.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say. What I will tell you is that I'm genuinely concerned about chaos in the world. I think that unemployment is going to be high, and people without the big ideas who aren't deep in this AI tools are going to try and figure out what am I going to do. So
We can't do anything. Like, what can we do? Because you just said they're actually replacing fighters with robots. Like,
well, I mean, yeah, that's down the road, but like maybe it's not that far down the road. Maybe it's like in 5 years we start to see real, like, super interesting robot fights, right? I would say that, the way things are going, people are going to care about. So right now, kids these days don't care about their privacy, right? Like they're all using social media. Mm-hmm. They don't care about taking pictures, locations, whatever. So in the future, which is happening now, we're going to care about our online security and our physical security. Mm. Like physical security is going to be a real deal. So,
you guys have nothing to worry about when it comes to physical security. But a robot, like, people look like shit. Fuck y'all armor. Right. Yeah. But yeah.
So how does so when you're talking about AI, we're talking about like our smartphones and everything. You're saying like chat GBTs, like what parts of AI are you talking about that they're going to start using to essentially replace us?
Well, so, it's happening in all kinds of fields. Like, for example, primary care. I was speaking to somebody yesterday who's going to this longevity conference in Las Vegas. It's happening right now, like, where you live forever kind of shit. Mm-hmm. And, she's saying that primary care is going to be the first to go. Like, you don't need to go to a doctor anymore and get a prescription for stuff because, like, an AI is going to be able to, find out your ailments, take in your blood work and then tell you what you need to do, right? So,
this gets really interesting from a religious perspective, especially in terms of like robots. Like if we're cohabiting the world with robots, because that's not in the system of any type of religious doctrine.
Yeah.
So this is where it's going to get really interesting because you're a man of faith, right?
Yep.
So like, how would that fit into Islam, right?
Sounds like the end times, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so how does that fit into the Islamic religion? Because that's not in the Quran. That's not in the Bible.
It doesn't. It's foreign, man.
Yeah,
that by foreign.
Yeah, a lot of what's happening is foreign. That's a good point. That's where we're at.
But then they're trying to merge humanity and from a conscious level with machine. So that means that it won't be a human that's in control of what's happening in society. It'll be a AI program.
Man, how many of you guys like I don't know about you guys, but like in fighting, I'm sure people have therapists, right, that they talk to. And I don't know if you go to a therapist for whatever.
Get one.
But well, if you have a girlfriend that goes to therapy or whatever, but
I go to therapy. Yeah. I'm in therapy.
So there's people that use like ChatGPT to trauma dump on and it replaces their therapist. Like yeah, like you should start talking to ChatGPT or Grok and just seeing what it tells you, and you'll be amazed at how good it's getting at this stuff.
I'm old school. Like I'm literally telling you, like that strikes fear to me because I feel like we're replacing ourselves and nobody understands that. Like I'm not afraid of technology, but I'm also at a point where we're like you see the autonomous driving cars and autonomous driving trucks, and like at some point, if you replace that human being doesn't have a job. What do they do now? And I get everybody.
That's what he was saying.
I get everybody saying,
"Going to give you money."
We'll go get educated in this, but like a 6-year-old trying to go back to college to learn how to operate a computer just doesn't work.
Well, no, I mean, I think the future of that, example for would be like they would go out and buy 5 robotaxis, and then they would let the robotaxis go around and pick people up, drop them off, and they would manage it. They'd manage a fleet of robots, and they'd make money from it. So, it's
people can't manage themselves, let alone like, and I'm not trying to be a smartass, but if you looked at society now, like we literally have proven we cannot manage ourselves because we don't know how to act. So if a person gets 5 robots, like that's even more chaos. Like
Tate listen, it's dystopian, okay? It's what's happening right now and where it's leading to is gonna be dystopian.
You're the problem.
No, it's gonna be.
He's not in control of it. He's just guys you gotta go with.
He's also just willing to give up everything.
I'm not willing to give up. What I'm saying is the fact that there's nothing that we're going to do because we're not all going to wake up in time in order to do what needs to be done to make sure this doesn't happen.
Can we not put laws in place? Because I feel like, to me,
who's going to put the laws in place? The people who could put laws in place, they're boys with Peter Thiel.
Well, it's not even that. It's that other countries have low or no regulation, right? And if we let other countries just do whatever they need to do, and we're putting laws in place here in the U.S., this is a national security issue. So we have to we have to put guardrails around things, but putting laws and making it illegal to do certain things with AI is probably not the answer. I do think that what has to happen is people around this table need to embrace the tools and start using it to your advantage in different ways. And you can. So once you start using it and you use it for, certain things, it's going to change your life. And then you're going to be like,
I don't think it makes you lazier. Like, I get, guys, I hear you. I'm old. Like, I can still use an atlas. Like, I do love that I can put my address in and can find that. But at the same time, when I'm relying upon a machine or something so much, it causes problems. Like, let's take a house. If the fucking Wi-Fi goes out, you're just in a box, just sitting there. Like, you can't even read books. Like, people have everything. So I'm like, we're dependent upon computers and so much to where I feel like it's making us dumb.
Yeah, man. I have a different perspective on that. Like, as an example, we live in Bellevue, Washington, and Las Vegas, right? And we'll drive here because I have a big dog. And normally when you do a long road trip, you get super fatigued, you get tired, like you got to switch off, switch on, all that stuff. The last 2 times we've done it, we did it in our Cybertruck, put in the address, and then hit go. And the truck drives itself the entire way. It stops at all the charging stations now. You just plug it in, you go out, you take your dog for a break, you get back in the truck. And I have like satellite internet in it, so I have Starlink in my truck. I can work while it's driving. Like I'm not kidding.
You and me are on two different sides. Like, I'm gonna be John Connor, the black dog Connor fighting you.
You're gonna find it. By the time this podcast is over, you're gonna take me outside and beat the shit out of me. But like, the thing is, like, if you accept the fact that we cannot uninvent it, that's what you need to accept. We cannot invent it. It's happening. Whether I'm in this room or not, it's happening around us. And you just have to.
White people start with slavery.
Yeah. But that's it's the same exact thing though. Like it's Darwinism.
Yeah, raw slaves.
Y'all don't come up with all these big ass words right now. About this with shit like that. It's crazy to me and it's scary that you're in a car driving.
Yeah.
Not driving.
Yeah, but you're not driving, but the car is doing a better job driving than you'll do.
But Tesla drivers are the worst fucking drivers on the road.
But what it is a transition to no one drives anymore.
That's right.
It's driverless cars. Your car drives itself, right? You own the car, and then
they communicate to each other.
Right,
so it's like a herd.
Then pretty soon, you don't have a car. No one owns a car because why? It's not sustainable. And they're going to make it so that no one owns a car, and you get driven by these cars that are autonomous.
Yeah, it was in demolition. You know what's crazy is like, and I remember you telling me, it's like movies soften shit so you can just go with the flow. Total Recall, Demolition.
It's called predictive programming.
Like the biggest one was you ever see that movie WALL-E?
Yeah.
Everybody's in a wheelchair. Everything's so easy. All the robots are handling everything. So it's like what is it? Like conditioning you to the idea of like something that's already going to happen.
Dude, like
do you guys see Idiocracy?
I'm thinking of Demolition Man, where
Yeah. I mean, it is or Idiocracy.
Idiocracy. Oh man,
it's like everyone in the future is stupid except for this one guy who
came from the past.
Yeah, he came from the past, and he's like just an average dude who's the smartest guy in the world now. It's hilarious.
Was the president? Was
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You don't see that happening with AI. You just don't. I mean,
no, I mean I do. Look. Here's what I see happening. I think AI is accelerating at a rate that probably very few are expecting, and it's making it easier to do certain things. It's making it easier to create tools that you haven't been able to create before. It can enhance your life in many ways if you use it to your advantage. But if you don't, you're going to be left behind. And I think that's the.
But I think there's a part where AI breaks away and realize that, wait a minute, I don't need to take orders from you.
That's the problem.
And that's the problem. And that becomes a point where it's like
Skynet.
they start to realize that they could make
they start to realize we're flawed and we don't know what the fuck we're doing, and they can do it better.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, they're using us for battery power Matrix.
I was just watching Eagle Eye the other day.
Oh yeah.
And y'all are signing off on this. You're like, you're ready.
There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. What would you do about something like this right now?
I'm going underground. Underground. I'm gonna start growing vegetables.
There you go.
Underground. I don't do no vegetables, but I'm gonna be underground. I'm going off the radar. I'm going off the grid. Like, I'm gonna find somewhere.
There's nowhere you can go.
Don't want electricity.
There's nowhere you can go.
Yeah, you won't be able to live without electricity for long, Tate. That's
Amish people do it. I'm going Amish.
Ain't no black
Amish, but
be the first.
No, but with drones and technology, there's nothing. There's nowhere you can go. They can weaponize the weather. They can burn. They can do anything. There's nowhere to run.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Are we really secure? Like phones and stuff, because like, you get the Sony TV, they turn on the thing.
Yeah.
are we as secure as we think we are?
No. You're absolutely. If you don't know how to manage your online security, you're completely insecure. Like But I don't want to freak people out here. But yeah, absolutely not. No way.
Too late. I'm already the battery.
Yeah.
Got him. They already used it. You got in and you got your motherfucking dick.
No, I already got that. Oh, they've been watching me on TV. A lot of shit.
If you think about some of the problems, so like for example, what the things that fighters and managers have, biggest problem. I was talking to Brian about this, and we're brainstorming on ideas, like the idea that you're a fighter, you live in a certain place, you're 140 pounds, you want to train with someone, you want it to like help you find somebody that you can train with, and sort of like do it all kind of automatically using some sort of software to do that. That's the type of stuff that that AI can do. It can help you. It can help you with your career. It can help you find groups of people to kind of fight with, a community, that sort of thing, and do it without having to kind of manually call around and say, hey, I got this guy, he needs to fight, like, can you get him a fight or whatever. All of that shit should be automated at some point. Yeah,
but I'm just telling you, where does it stop? Like, I get it, okay? We got our phones. We don't need Atlas. But what if the phone dies? Like, what happens? It's crazy that, like, if I'm driving and my phone breaks or something happens, I can't look up on a map and know how to get somewhere. Like, and again, I'm old. I'm just showing my age because, like, I like that. Like, I read. I have to have a book. Like, the whole Kindle thing, I'm like, give me a book. So where does it stop? Because then I'm noticing it now. Like, you're starting to see we in society just want to go faster. It's faster. We want to move faster. Like, I remember taking a plane and it was the coolest thing. Now it's like a 3-hour flight. Shit. You know what I'm saying? We're all about speed, but at the same time, I think you're just rushing to death because you're not stopping. You're not enjoying, from driving to looking. And I'm not criticizing AI and technology, but I'm also saying, like, as a people, we got to start realizing, like, once you give that control to machines, it's a wrap, because I'm the same way. Like, I can't go without my phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just where we're at now. And I feel like it's cool, but we have to set boundaries for ourselves. Like, take fighters. I was lucky to be around several camps. And I remember a guy, I won't say his name, but his idea was like, I'm going to make fighting easy. So the fighter just has to concentrate on fighting. And he wasn't successful because for him to be successful, it is the grind. He needs to find that training partner. Mm-hmm. Fighters have to be uncomfortable to perform. If I go, here's a computer, it's going to do everything for you, I guarantee you his career is not going to be good.
Right.
Because he has to have...
That's kind of human intervention.
He has to have something in him to say, motherfucker, you got to get up.
Yeah.
You got to go get this. How bad do you want it? So, and like I told you, like I've said several times, I'm fortunate enough to where people will always tip me up, and I know y'all had it, and they're like, Tate, call Dana and tell me, give me a shot. I'm like, first of all, you act like me and Dana fucking talk. But it's like, if I get you into the UFC easy, you will not make it.
That's
because
right.
It's not easy. Fighting is not designed to be easy. There's going to come a point in his career where he's going to have some adversity, and if he don't fucking realize how to get through it and overcome it, he's done.
Yeah.
And if you rely on AI and you constantly rely on somebody else to do it for you, I don't feel like you'll be a good fighter. I don't feel like you'll make it. Am I wrong? Am I right?
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right about that. I mean, there's a certain element of sacrifice that you want your fighters to make, or else they're not investing enough into their career. But like this whole thing, I mean, like, 125 years ago, when everybody's riding around on horses and some crazy motherfucker came up in a car, everybody was like, oh, what happens if you can't find gas? You know what I'm saying? But you have, so like now, that's just the evolution of the world.
That's
of where I go with it.
Same fucking
But what I'm saying is the world is going to evolve, and this is what I'm saying. Regardless, and there's still going to be struggles no matter what.
This is the next big evolution that's happening now, and it's accelerating at a rate that, I said before, it's accelerating at a rate that nobody expected, except for maybe those who are watching it happen from the inside.
Planned it.
Yeah.
You sit home and I know you.
Yeah, right.
And you try to replace black people.
Yeah.
I'm telling everybody, you try to replace black people.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's I think actually the people that are getting replaced are the white collar jobs. So yeah, there's some black people there. There's a lot of white people as software engineers that are losing their jobs. Like they're going to be the first to
How
go.
do a software engineer be replaced? Like you got to have somebody that can write it and figure.
No, the AI does it better than any software engineer. It's in the last 60 days, it's gotten so damn good.
The last 60 days.
Yeah. It's
The last 60 days.
Yeah. There's been like new model releases that have just been like a step leap ahead of everything else.
And it's the AI teaching itself to get better.
It's like training. Like
It teaches itself now.
it does. I mean,
Skynet.
it's yeah.
Okay, we all okay.
So AI has it like, it hasn't reached that sentient level though, right? Where it's just like,
I don't know, honestly. It's a really good question because some people are suggesting that, maybe some of these models have reached, sentience, but like, I don't know. I'm just going to say from what I've seen in the last 60, 90 days with the acceleration of just software development, I'm now convinced that things are going to be on a completely different planet next year. So, yeah.
Skynet, way to go. Thank you.
60 days. That's
Thank you.
I mean, but think about like how slow evolution was up until the last 60 days. Well, I mean, like last like couple of years, right? Like,
Have you guys seen AI music? Have you listened to that shit?
Yeah, I just saw that they banned this one song. They took it off Spotify or something because they found out that like it had like AI lyrics and everyone thought it was like this amazing singer.
Yeah, man, listen, if I want to create a song, I want Eminem to sing a song about Mansur fighting in the UFC and like winning, whatever. It'll happen like this and it'll be amazing. There's different tools out there to create it with.
Yeah.
And the songs are awesome. So you're going to see AI artists
doing AI Martin Luther King and stuff like that. I was like, they are tripping right now.
Have you heard like the 1950s 50 Cent songs and stuff like that? It's crazy, right? I mean, it sounds amazing.
Oh, right. Yeah, I have heard those, like the old.
Yes.
It's deep when you think about it. Like if you really think about it, right? Because I'm going to get real deep for a second, right? Hold on. No, listen.
Shit.
Because what we in essence are is nothing more than consciousness, right? I mean, of course we have a physical body, but our physical body does not really speak to what we truly are, because you don't, if whenever you're not, I've been out of my physical body enough to know that my consciousness was still going on, right? But then you have AI that has operating on a certain level of consciousness and awareness as well. So if they're operating from a certain level of consciousness and awareness, they are theoretically operating from the same consciousness and awareness that we are, because there's only one.
What?
Yeah, well, yeah, I hear what he's saying.
What you're saying too.
So basically, these big models are getting so smart. They're getting so smart, like Google's Gemini, OpenAI, Grok. All these different models that are being developed. Even the one from Anthropic, they just came up with this new one called Opus 4.5. They're all getting so smart, and they're getting, they know that they have the world's knowledge in them, that eventually it's just going to become a giant Borg. So a single consciousness of like intelligence, and the intelligence is unbelievable. Like you can have a conversation with an AI now and feel like, wow, this person's like really fucking smart.
But it's so here's the scary thing about it.
And then when you inject it in you with Neuralink.
Yeah. So here's the scary thing about it is like, so I've had enough psychedelic experiences where I experienced.
No.
Let me
be quiet. I've done enough drugs. I've fried my brain receptors.
Let me finish speaking.
Are we talking mushrooms? What are we talking about?
DMT, 5-MeO DMT.
LSD, cocaine.
So never cocaine, cocaine. But I've had enough to have transcended this consciousness as far as my physical body, right? And going beyond that into what is only can be explained as the ocean of consciousness, where all consciousness comes from, right? Where it's just the singularity, right? And you realize that all division is no more than just an illusion, right? You go beyond that and you see that there is just this consciousness that just goes on forever and ever, right? And it's unbroken. There is no name for it. People call it God. Well, we call it God, but that's what it is. It's just consciousness that goes on forever. That's in the etheric plane, right? Now, if we make that same kind of consciousness here, that'd be the same thing here. but then you have the etheric, and then you have the physical, and it would be like as above, so below. God and the devil.
Wow.
Look, I hate mind blown. I hear what you're saying, Rashad.
No, you
No, I do hear what he's saying.
because you're just saying you do drugs.
These been there. These been there.
So y'all motherfuckers been council smoking. Okay,
He's been there.
I had some mushrooms a couple times. The chocolate mushroom. It tastes like shit. I thought I was getting some chocolate. I thought the shit was gonna be like real chocolate.
thank you for coming over here and fucking me up. I'm not on myself. Rashad's a robot. He's okay with the shit. We're being replaced. Like, how come they replace us? Why don't y'all replace women?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I mentioned that's happening, right? Like, have you seen the women robots that are coming out of China? It's like insane, but yeah, it's happening. Yeah.
That would probably get me to cross over to the Skynet side if I get a fucking robot that would shut up. You know what I'm saying? It's just true. That's crazy.
Say they ain't leaving this house if you got a robot world. He ain't leaving.
Yo, Obi, man, just don't let them come out to the Cutman job. Leave that at least until I'm done. Then y'all want to get somebody else to do that. That is crazy that AI can do. So you literally tell me you can have a conversation with AI.
Yeah. I mean, I do every day, like, because I have a team of software developers that work for me. No, well, yeah.
You were Skynet. Like, I'm telling you.
I am one of millions of people now that are using this to do all kinds of stuff with, right? Like creating software, using it to solve problems. Like there's just so many things you can do with it to enhance. I mean, I use it every day, even just in my truck. Like the Tesla is the most advanced AI self-driving vehicle now. You have to try it just to believe it. You just won't believe it.
Driving around, don't know where they're going.
You don't need to
get in the car and the car just takes
you. Literally don't need to know. Man, I came here. I asked Brian for the address, put it in my Cybertruck, hit it, and I ended up here. Like that's pretty awesome. Sit back. You don't need. You don't even have.
I want that.
Dude, I will take you for a ride, like whatever. You'll be blown away. Are you guys going to the?
Can I do like?
No, I can go. I told you I drove across country. Like I drive from Washington State to Vegas in it.
All y'all are sitting there and Skynet's controlling y'all, and we in the tunnel doing our thing, living free, having high cholesterol.
Who wants to be in a tunnel?
Are any of you guys going to that fight tonight? The tough enough one? Yeah. I can take you for a ride in the Cybertruck. I can put in the Virgin whatever hotel address, and you just watch it happen. Your mind's about to be blown. Right?
It's crazy that you're willing to give up that kind of. I know how you are. You definitely won't work because you're a control person. You want to give up control to just, hey, robot, do whatever.
No, I'm not. But here's the thing about it.
Said that.
No, I didn't just
you
say that.
Do your drugs.
No, I didn't.
You and D. Y'all gonna do y'all drugs.
No, but what?
And then y'all just.
What I'm saying is, here's one thing I will never do. I will never allow my consciousness to be gathered by the machine. Meaning the fact that I will never do nothing like Neuralink that will allow me to download my consciousness to any kind of AI.
Is that happening too?
I mean, I really believe that is a possibility down the road. But right now, they're using Neuralink to solve people's paralysis, and and it's working. You should see some of the stories are just amazing. People are using their brains to play games with people who are like quadriplegics. The next step now is to help them walk again. It's amazing, right?
Because if you think about it like this, if in essence God is consciousness, right, and you have an AI which is, let me finish.
Shush me. This
if God is consciousness, and you have an AI that is gathering consciousness through people downloading the consciousness on AI, then in essence that the AI is capturing the consciousness of God.
Or becomes God.
No.
To some people, maybe.
See what y'all doing? Yeah. Just telling you, this is how we get canceled. Because this shit.
It's conversation.
No, Rashad, you're talking about religions and drugs. Let's just fucking start talking about politics next. You cannot put God as a specific thing. God is not a robot.
I didn't say God is a robot.
You put the fuck.
He thought he was conscious.
I said God is conscious.
Well, I will tell you that I've had. I built this software a little while back just to experiment with it. Where I had no. This is really easy. I just basically had an AI know the Torah, the Quran, and the Bible, and then be able to kind of have a conversation with it about religion.
That is
super interesting. Like it was because you could argue that the root of many wars is religion, right? And yeah, it's religion, and and so there's a lot of similarities between these these three religions, and I just think it's I think that's probably where things will end up going, maybe. Like,
so we're gonna down.
I'd love to see these mega churches,
them,
shut down or something, because I feel like they're predatory on people, like mega churches.
Oh, definitely.
I'm not a big fan of that stuff. So who knows? Maybe there'll be a mega church AI. I'm not gonna be a member, but
so you're telling me AI can differentiate between feelings? Like it understands feelings and it understands that kind of stuff to that level yet?
Man, I'm sure. Yeah. Just like okay, so if I'll have a conversation with let's say I have a problem with a piece of software I'm working on, and I'll send the thing like, "Did you fix this? Did you deploy this?" And I type it with capital letters. You can see it's thinking. So as it starts to think, before it even generates a response for you, you can see it thinking, oh my God, the user is upset. I can see that he's upset. And I got to come up with an excuse as to why this is happening, blah, blah, blah. And it does this in its thoughts, and then it gives you an answer. It's crazy. It's just so neat.
I'm sure like when you talk to it, it can detect tension in your voice, whether you're upset.
So I got a question. So the data that's being I guess made by the AI, could anything capture that data? Like, is it so much data that you can't really, there's nothing that can save all that data, because people are using these AI chat and all this stuff like that. But can that data be saved and
reused and trained? Yeah, absolutely. When you talk
there's some weirdo out there hacking my phone or hacking what I'm talking about and getting ready to capture, make another me.
How many times have you had a conversation with someone about some product or something that shows up on your Instagram?
All the time. But I like that though. You know what I'm saying? That's a convenience. Because you nasty.
Because you nasty. Because I know what be popping up on your shit. I know what be popping up. We have literally lost control.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that part, but it does happen all the time.
The machines are controlling us now. Like they know when they put that filth in my phone that I'm going to look.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Yeah. But that's up to you to not look. I kind of.
It's like Oreos.
You ain't got.
Once I see an Oreo,
you ain't got no discipline.
That Oreo, you ain't got no fucking discipline. I don't need it. I got fucking AI now. But, dude, wow, you've blown my mind. Now I'm scared. That gets actually scary that y'all are willing to give up control and being a human for a robot because y'all don't want to look at fucking maps. You don't open a phone book and find a phone.
Whoever said that you were human?
You're right.
Wait.
Listen, if you think about Neuralink, just give you an example. Neuralink, they're putting in people's heads who are quadriplegic right now, so that they can actually interact with people and play video games for now. But what is paralysis? Paralysis is like a nervous system disorder, right? There's something in your nervous system that's not firing. Something's not connected. And so if the synapses are fired up saying, yeah, you can move, your body can move, this is how you move your arm, whatever, and you start to move, that's all being driven by this whole concept of Neuralink. And that's where Neuralink is going. Like Elon Musk is doing some amazing things in the world, and that's probably one of his like biggest things that he's doing that no one really talks about.
But then you have the people that bring up the argument with God. If God wanted that person to move, he wouldn't have made them paralyzed. So computers are now playing God, i.e. the consciousness.
Or maybe God wanted that person to walk, and that's why he created Neuralink. Like, who knows, right?
Doing what came first.
But it all depends. Like, we have an idea of what we think God is, but the truth of the matter is, what if God never physically created anything, and God being God just dreamed it up? Like, listen.
I'm tired of
reset. So what I'm saying is, what if God never physically created anything, just dreamed it up? Like for instance, no, listen. When you go to sleep, right, you have dreams, and in your dreams, you're the main character, but then you create a whole world in your dream, and all those things, they're all the people, all the elements that create that dream, they're all you. So what if that's us right now, and God's having a dream.
Just give you a platform to sound crazy as fuck. I hope you happy about that.
That's literally
Blasphemous.
that's yeah.
How's that blasphemous?
That's that, but that's also our idea. We can only think to the level that we can think, if that makes sense. Like, God is something that we can't even fathom. Allah is something that we can't even conceptualize or understand. We're thinking that he thinks like us. God might not even think. God doesn't think. God is God. That's a completely different idea. We can only think to the level that we see ourselves. Like, we're talking about like consciousness, and we're talking about
Fucking robots.
creating robots and AI and like all this stuff. But this is literally only the stuff that we can understand and things that we can explain and things that we can articulate ourselves. Like, God is up here, so we can't even. There's no comparison.
There's no comparison, but it's analogous because it says we're created in the image of God. So what if image just means the imaginings?
This is the
What if I mean,
The point? No, that's a point.
I mean, it
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is like, but now we're picking and choosing on what we think God is doing.
I just like that everyone at this table believes in God. That's cool. 'Cause I do too. That's nice. Right?
But now we're picking and choosing on what we think God. So you're saying maybe God made AI.
Yeah, I mean, I just.
But you're saying he couldn't have because God only made man.
God made man, and man has been fucking up ever since God created him.
And
but then no. Just no. But then you bring in the play of a faulty God.
No.
Now let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. If God knows, listen. If God knows the beginning and the end before everything was created, then he already knew what would be before he created it. So that means that he created something that was a mistake. God is perfect. God can't make something a mistake. So everything that's created, everything that is faulty is for the divine purpose, for an end that we don't know.
Mm-hmm. Skynet got you.
It's not. It's practical thinking. It can't be any other way. Because if you propose another way, then you're saying God is a fault. God has fault.
these are one.
Yes, you did.
End times. Like, all this stuff is literally on the path for the end.
Thank you for killing us now. I'm going to
Don't say that.
y'all set us up.
Let's say that. It makes me nervous. I'll say, like, I tend to kind of align with what you're thinking in terms of like, I'm a little worried about the future given the whole unemployment thing and what's going to happen with jobs and people trying to figure out what they're going to do next with their lives. That's where I draw the line, though. That's where I'm like, I'm not sure what happens next. Definitely worried for people, but I would say as long as you're using this stuff and you're finding, like, the people with the best ideas are the ones who are going to make millions. That's all.
The ones that don't have it, do we just rob the people that made it?
Well, unfortunately, yeah, maybe. You're like, you're done. You have great ideas.
Back to the fields. Back to the fields we go.
Right now in China, there's a big ass fucking dude running around the PI, heavy talking shit. They look just like you.
Rapping hands. The fuck computer make a meat.
No, you have great ideas. You just have to, like, put them to work. I have weird dreams at night. I only sleep 3 hours a day, by the way. So, yeah, pretty much.
Aren't you?
Man, if I sleep 4, I have like a weird nightmare. So I wake up after 3 hours, and then I'll try and meditate and chill. And then if I fall back to sleep, that's when I have a crazy dream. And when I have a crazy dream, sometimes I have like really good ideas, and I write those ideas down when I wake up, and I start like building on it. It's
Maybe we should have more crazy dreams.
Yeah, maybe.
So what, you want to fucking replace the vagina next? I mean, that's what he's doing.
That's not something I'm interested in doing. No, I'm interested in like stuff that helps people.
Except for vagina does that. I'd buy it.
I'll buy that for $1.
I feel like we start out with this path of helping and making better, but it's always perverted, and it just goes to this weird level where it will start out as good intentions, and then, like, if you look at like narcotics,
cocaine was a thing, and now it's like lace.
Now here we go. Heroin.
You got the bent and all that.
Morphine is just heroin. And I'm not telling people that, but I'm just telling you, things that start out as these great ideas to help mankind get perverted, and then it just, now you got people having fucking 13-year-olds having sex with robots. Shit is crazy out there.
Yeah, it's like politics. There's extremists on both sides, right?
And we just hit the trifecta.
Yeah.
Fucking sex, money, drugs, and robots. Now he wants to talk about politics.
It is.
Skynet. No. fast forward to some of y'all guys can't talk because we got a Hall of Famer, we got you, and we got the fucking evolution of the fighter. So like, I was asking him a bunch of stuff. Like, what was it like? Do you remember your first time in a cage?
Yeah.
Tell me your first, what was it like your first, who did you fight and what was it like your first time in the cage?
My first time in the cage was in Angola, Indiana. And I only wanted to do one fight. I signed up to do one fight. It was at a smoker in this little hole in the wall. And the guy was like, well, you know, we got a tournament going on. And if I pull one of the guys off the tournament, then the tournament is not going to be a tournament. He said, but you can jump in the tournament and just do one fight and then just be done. And I'm like, all right, cool. So for me, I felt,
what's a smoker? Sorry.
a smoker is a small like show where just like there's really no commission and literally back then people, it was a bingo hall and people are literally smoking. Like there's a huge plume of smoke like right above the ring which I fought. So they call these shows smokers. And you know, I was like, all right, cool, I'll do it. And at the time, you know, I was just coming from wrestling. So for me, I was like, yeah, you know, I didn't feel as nervous. I kind of felt like I couldn't wait to go out there and show off a little bit. And then I went out there and the fight ended in like a minute. And I was like, dang, I didn't really get a chance to feel it. I beat him in a minute.
Holy praise.
And then the guy's like, well, you know, you made it to the next round. You want to do another one? I'm like, yeah. And then this fight ended fast as well too. So I got 2 fights in, and I didn't really get to even feel anything. I didn't really get punched. I just kind of picked dude up, slammed him, and grounded and pounded him out, and it was over. So then I made it to the final. So then I fought that guy. That fight was a little bit longer, but you know, it was just 3 quick fights. Like my first few fights were all tournaments.
Yeah, my first one actually was my second one, my first one was a one fight. It was in a ring. Second one was in a ring against a guy who was 225. So there wasn't even a weight class.
And you fought back in the Stone Age too.
It is E4, right?
Close enough.
Hey, I told him this guy has AI, so he ain't figured out.
But my first time, but those were in rings. But my first time in a cage was in 1997.
Damn.
And it was a tournament. And I fought a dude and I beat him. And then the dude who was supposed to go to the finals got hurt. So they brought a motherfucker out the crowd. And I fought him. Yeah.
Actual crowd.
Yeah, out the crowd. They was like, yeah, the dude got hurt in the final for the final. So does anybody want to fight Dean Thomas in the finals of the lightweight tournament? And they brought in a motherfucker out the crowd. And then I fought him.
How big was he? Was he a big dude?
No, he wasn't big. And then I fought him, and then I won that, and I won $500. I thought I was rich. I was like, God damn, $500 for 2 hours. I thought I was rich.
Yeah. What about your first UFC fight? What was it like the first time you were? Because everybody knows the story with Dana. You won the Ultimate Fighter the second season.
Yeah.
It was a heavyweight. Rashad was actually a heavyweight, and then you win the Ultimate Fighter. But what was that first UFC fight, that moment? Do you remember where it was at? Do you remember how it felt? What was
it was at the Hard Rock Casino, and I was fighting Sam Hoger for my first.
I was there. I remember that.
Yeah, for the first fight, and I never lost. Like I've only won, and I was like, I'm gonna smash this dude because I trained with Sam Hoger before when I went to go train at Iowa at Military's Camp. He was there, and I got a chance to train with him there. So
was this heavyweight or light heavyweight?
This is light heavyweight. I dropped down to light heavyweight. And I knew he's got like decent stand up, but I knew I can just take him down to the ground and grind him out. So the fight was going great. And I was doing my thing. I could have picked up the action. I was trying to be a little bit more exciting in the third round. And this is back in the day. This is back when I didn't have any contacts. Like I'll take my contacts out and I couldn't see nothing. Like I was fucking blind. So I really couldn't see. He threw a kick and hit me in the eye. I thought the motherfucker kicked my eyeball off.
Oh my God.
It was the first time I actually felt pain in a fight. And I remember like he hit me in the eye and I'm just thinking like, what the fuck was that? Like I didn't even know what happened. And then I eventually get him down to the ground and I'm thinking like, I think my eyeball is out. And in the whole rest of the round, I'm holding this guy down, hoping that he don't get back up because I can't even, like, I think that my eyeball is like hanging out my face. And it was the scariest moment, but at the same time, it was the happiest moment because I proved myself. Like I finally made it on the stage, but not only that, I got that first win, because there was a huge target on our back coming off the Ultimate Fighter show, because it was like, all right, these dudes who got all this TV time, they think they somebody. Let's go in there and show them what it's really about.
I remember watching that fight thinking he fought you a lot tougher than I thought he should have.
Yeah.
I thought Rashad was going to smash old boy, and that motherfucker kicked you. I said, oh no, Rashad, what happened? I didn't know Rashad back there, but I thought Rashad was going to smash him.
So for you, you're the next crop. So you like, again, which is funny, you grew up watching these guys. You watch these guys, you see them on TV. Like, for you to talk to them, like, what's the question? Because, like, what are you seeing these guys differently that y'all didn't see? And then for you, like, what is it for you to talk to, like, a Hall of Famer? What is your question to him? Like, bro, what is it like or whatever? Because if one thing I can take from you, you're a student. Like, from what you told me, like, how you watch it. Like, this dude said at 7 years old he wanted to fight in the UFC. Like, these motherfuckers here, they didn't even know what the UFC was. You know what I'm saying? They were just backyard brawlers. So for y'all to talk to, like, this guy's the second wave of you. Like, he essentially is you. If we were doing a sequel, he's a wrestler, you know, and he's getting his thing. Same with you. Like, what do y'all talk about to these young guys? And for you being a young guy in the sport, what is your thing to talk to these, to the guys that paved the way for you? Because without these guys, there is no, you know. So how is that, like, what is it like for you? Like, what do you see them? And I think I'm trying to break that question.
I do got one big question. In comparison between regular fights and championship fights, if there's any, what is the difference? What is the different feel? What's the biggest thing that makes a championship fight different from another fight, or is there any?
It's usually that intensity, and you feel it right out the gate before the referee, the bell even rings. Like, you feel that tension right out the gate, and there's a certain kind of hunger, and you can look and you can see in your opponent's eyes to see how hungry he is and how much he really wants to destroy you. And everything that he throws is with a different kind of intensity. And it's just that, you know, it feels like you're playing more for keeps. And when it's a championship on the line, there's, like, in a fight, sometimes where you kind of start to place your will on somebody, you can get people to kind of relent and kind of go like, oh man, I just think they'll concede to it. But when it's a title fight and a championship fight, that will dies a little bit harder.
Yeah.
And for me, that was always the best part of the fight. It wasn't about when I got my hand raised. It's when I knew that they knew that they was fucking done.
Okay, calm down.
That moment.
You know, bro, this dude is intense. He might slap shot, but y'all know, like
that. You describing that is more gratifying than any win, than any belt, than anything else. That feeling of knowing that you literally have essentially broken this man.
Yeah.
And then not only broken him, but there's still time left.
Wow.
So you can place your will on top of his, and you can do whatever you want to do. And it's just, that is it. That is like, there's no coming back. He can fight. Maybe the fight makes it even, that's crazy to say. Maybe the fight from him makes it like a little bit better. Because now it's like, oh, you want to try a little bit more. Now what? But that moment and that feeling of knowing that you can best this man, and you know that feeling of when he breaks, and you can see in his eyes, and you can see him faking. You can see him trying to put on that face, put on that fighter a little bit more, to try and show everyone else that he's okay, but you know he's not okay. Wow. And you know how you're feeling, and you know you're more okay than he is, and there's still time left. That's beautiful. That's the feeling. And then that's that thing that makes you want to get in there even sooner. Forget the championships, forget the belts, forget all that stuff, forget the fights, contender fights, championship fights, whatever. That is it. That's, for me, that's one of the most important things, that intimacy, once again, the intimacy of fighting, that relationship. You know, in a fight, this man might know you better than your family knows you. Mm-hmm. When you fight someone else, they know more about you than anyone else close to you can know. That meeting between two men in bare hand combat, that's special. And when you can overcome that, and when you can see that in his eyes that he's done, that's beautiful. That's the one.
See, I didn't get a chance to tell my first time in UFC, and I only want to tell this only because Brian is here, actually, because this is kind of... So I actually got asked to fight Jens Pulver for the very first initial lightweight title fight, and I turned it down. only because I wanted to fight in Hawaii. Because the UFC isn't what it is today. Like we think about the UFC today, and it's like, oh, UFC, but back then it was just like another. I mean, it was still big, but for us, it was just another show. And the opportunity to go to Hawaii was more important to me than the fucking fight for the UFC lightweight belt against Jens Pulver. So I know, Rob, I'm a dumb son of a... And I ended up fighting Bozo Pauling, who turns out to be Max Holloway's uncle. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I ended up fighting him. At least I won that fight. So then I ended up fighting in the UFC 2001, my first time, 2001 against BJ Penn, who was replacing Genki Sudo, who I was supposed to fight. He got hurt. BJ Penn steps in on like 2 weeks' notice and fucking knocks me out. And then that was my first time fighting in the UFC, and it fucking sucked. But then I came back 3 months later and fought in the very first fight in Las Vegas in UFC 33, the very first UFC fight in Las Vegas.
It's crazy because people see y'all, right? Like, and people forget you were a badass fighter. Like, you had hands, I saw you little things, but then, like, and it's great, like, telling y'all, like, this is the next guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even for me, when I was around you guys, like, they would shoulder each other in vans. It's not what it is now. Like, it's definitely bigger and more mainstream. Like, do y'all remember, like, all of us being in the same hotels, the hotels getting in the same shuttles? It wasn't as organized. It wasn't as, like, how it is now. But, like, did you ever see it that way? And, like, when you do see it and you see this guy, do you, like, tell your kids, like, man, this dude, like, do you even look at this guy and be like, man, I done whoop this dude? Like, even like with Rashad, like, you sit there, Mansur, you look at Rashad and be like, this was like heavyweight, because, like, you're a big dude and you fight at like 170, right?
185. Yeah.
185. Like,
Yeah.
even we were talking the other day, like, the size disparity, like,
They got big.
guys are cutting weight to make 265.
Yeah, they got.
You know, like, guys went up to heavyweight because they didn't want to cut weight. Now you got fuckers cutting weight to make 265. And then, like, guys walking around at 225 now, cutting weight to.
They got.
What do you walk around at?
Right now, I woke up 210.
Damn. Yeah, they got a lot bigger, and they got to become better athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things that was one of the main differences. Sometimes, you know, you didn't have to be the better fighter to be the better athlete and get that win, you know? But nowadays is that...
So wait, explain that. So
what I mean is, you know, if somebody had better technique than me, because I was a better athlete, I'll still be able to beat them.
Okay.
Right? But now everybody is such on a great athletic plane, and it just kind of accentuates what they can do technically speaking. So now you have to have... It's a bit different as far as, you know, being able to be coming in buttoned up. But I would say what we have that I see a lot of these guys kind of don't have, they don't have that grit and that toughness that we had. Like, we have a grit. We had a grit because for us, like,
we wanted to do it.
Like this, like it was, there was no, like when we fought, we were fighting for the love. Like, it was just the love of it, just to be out there, to be like, hey, I'm going to go out there and, you know, have fun doing this. We wasn't...
When prize fights, I was fighting for the love.
No,
fought for money.
The money wasn't out there. I was fighting for like $700, bro.
Yeah.
I would get cut, and the stitches they had me to put back my face would be almost all the money that I had. I will make no money.
They made you pay for your stitches?
Yeah.
They tripping.
Yeah, like I
Like,
used to
there was
fight
no mainstream sponsorships and shit like that back then. Like, it was
Nothing.
It was the money wasn't it, but we were back then fighting.
fucking shit.
See, look at AI. The AI.
She's in the carrier. Now she wants to join the
But back then we were fighting for like that bushido, like the honor of just being able to be.
Man, don't agree with that. You gotta tell her, like, dude, you gotta tell her, I got grit.
Seems like he has a similar mindset though.
would fight for PB&J, Team Trackers is the bread.
Yeah.
Like, maybe half that. Like, I don't care. I fight for the love of it. Like, in a weird way, God forgive me, in a weird way, I'm in there to die. Like,
Whoa.
Like,
I like that.
But I look
like
that
that.
money.
You know,
I get in.
It sounds weird to you, but I like that.
No, I mean, that's amazing.
There's nothing else. There's no hope of return. When they lock that cage, I'm not thinking about it being reopened again. But not in a corny way. Not in a.
No,
I mean, like,
You know, when you're winning and your career is like, it's going to be unbelievable. Like, we all see this right now at this table, but you're going to be just like, you know, a superstar. as that happens, you got to remember, don't forget where you came from, right? Like, you know, because you're going to get a lot of new friends, man. And they're gonna be all over you.
Listen.
And they're gonna want to like partner with you and do all this shit with you.
Brother,
No,
the circle has been small, and it continues to get smaller. It's me and my father. That's it.
Good for
What
you.
else? No, me, my father, and my coach. No,
God dang, Rashad. When Rashad was wearing sunglasses in the club, it was
All right, I'm telling you. But listen. I miss feeling like how you feel right now. Like that feeling of just like wanting to fight everybody. That's a powerful feeling. Like if you just want to fight everybody,
when you know you're good enough.
when you're good enough to fight, I want to fight everybody.
for this,
Yeah.
for this, like
I wanna
for
fight
everything else,
everybody,
like
man.
like prime.
is the sunglasses in a club a thing?
What he did, like he was like Rashad was the one that came with the suits.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
it's funny because you see how guys are. And Rashad did have an influence
Right.
on mainstream MMA. He was Sugar. He was Sugar Rashad. He showed up with the glasses.
Yeah.
He had his suit. He was like coming to
Bottle service.
Oh, Rashad was at Dean, like I said. So it's great watching y'all interact with each other because y'all two speak the same crazy language, that AI language. So, because he was talking about at 7, like this man is like, burn the ships. I don't have a plan. Like I was like, did you already know you wanted to do it? He's like, bro, I knew at 7. At 7 years old, I wanted the UFC. I didn't want shit else. And like, look where he's at. So then, like, even like talking to you, because I remember we've been friends a long time, and I remember you. It's crazy because people don't remember y'all were dogs. Before there were dogs, like y'all were like I used to watch you whoop a person's ass, like take them down, do whatever, same thing, and like. So it's like watching this man. You watch him because you've seen hundreds of fights. Like you see this guy. What do you see in him that the greats had before him? And like you're like, man, I like his thing. Like. Are there like fighters that just
No,
like
it's not what I see in him because, you know, fighters come and go. Like good fighters come and go. I see him all the time, but it's his mentality. And I spoke to him on Unfiltered last week.
Do you not see that in a lot of fighters?
Yeah, you can see talent in a lot of fighters. Like they're good or fast, they knock people out.
But the heart?
But sometimes they don't have the heart. Sometimes they don't have the right mindset. And that's more important than just being a good fighter. You got to have the right mindset, the right vision of what your future can look like, and then the right motivations. So when I'm sitting there talking to him, and when I spoke to you on Unfiltered, I saw that. I can hear it. I can sense it in your aura. And that's what I like about you. It's not the fact that you crazy athletic and have this rustling about. Like that'll come and go.
Yeah.
You know, you get injured and that's gone. Yeah. But it's your mindset and you can just sense your determination. And that's what's really going to stand out for you.
Knock on wood, you're not gonna get injured.
I just got like this too. People are talking about the athleticism, the back, the whatever. Man, I was a little fat kid. Matter of fact, I'm the oldest of 5 boys. My younger brother, right beneath me, he's the most athletic out of all of us. All of them play football. I'm the least talented, the least athletic of all of my brothers. I'm just the one that works really hard. And I'm just the one that just has a certain type of persistence, whatever. Maybe I have a love for it or something that just makes me want to do this, and I want to block everything else out. Right now in my apartment, I have a mattress on the floor. I literally rob myself of certain type of pleasures and certain things that a normal person would have because it makes me feel singular.
You're like the Kobe Bryant of fighting right now. It sounds
Sure. Like
that's what it sounds like.
empty out my fridge, whatever is not my goal. Hey, where Kai at? We gotta get Kai. Whatever's not specific to.
He's going away. Oh, he left.
Go to the with his wife to the spot.
All right, so whatever's not specific to my focus and to my goal, everything's out. People out of my phone, I'll block people. I'll change my number. I'll get in trouble for changing my number a lot because then I gotta add people back. But anything, it's that serious to me. And one of my biggest dreams is disappearing. Like I don't want to be. There's no dream of mine that wants to be famous. There's no dream of mine that wants to be known. I want to do this because of the happiness it brings me, because I want to accomplish certain goals in this, and then I want to disappear in the middle of nowhere, live somewhere nice and be peaceful, and leave the game for someone else. I never want to be one of those people to just be in it and sort of be in the background, and they like to take pictures with the guys. No, that's what. And then I think
Maybe goosebumps.
goosebumps. Where I articulate myself and how careful I think about technique, I think that I would be a good coach. I think that I would be, but I wouldn't even want to do that because that can be tricky too. You get in there and a guy's successful and he's using your techniques and he's using your knowledge and he's under your tutelage and all that. And
You want to fight him?
Yeah, that. I mean, maybe that, but then it's like
You can't fight your brother.
I feel like I'd be so empathetic towards it that like I feel like I'm taking like some of that. I wouldn't even want to be in the picture. So one of my biggest dreams is to do all this, accomplish all of my goals, God willing, and disappear and be gone.
Damn.
But it just reinforces the idea.
You want to like pull a Dave Chappelle?
Yeah, it reinforces the idea that I'm doing this for something else. I'm in this right now. I'm gonna light the game on fire to the best of my ability and be gone.
How old are you, Mansur?
Well,
I'd have to ask you.
How old are I?
Yeah,
28. Just turned.
Holy shit! You sound like you've lived a life.
Man, I just know everybody's gonna die. Everybody's gonna die. And I have my time to do something very special. I'm very blessed to do what I enjoy. I'm very blessed to allow my father. One of his biggest dreams is to see me accomplish my dreams, and then vice versa. So it's weird because we're just feeding off each other's dreams. So I just have an opportunity to do something beautiful, to maybe make my name be worth something. Do this, set it ablaze, and leave and be gone. Leave the game.
But I mean, so I appreciate that and I honor that. But you have to send the elevator back down. You know what I'm saying? So like, don't just be gone, because there might be somebody out there that you see that was just like you that could use your help. And if you disappear, then you'll take that with you. So send the elevator back down.
Funny enough,
before you leave.
I was just talking to somebody about that. And like, I used to be the kid that would look on Facebook when I was younger and see all the different fan pages. I send them messages, asking about techniques, and I thought it was the actual person. So maybe I'm not to someone else. So I have like some compassion for that, and that makes me think about things differently and not be as selfish and just disappear. But it's difficult. It's difficult when you're in the mind of a fighter right now, because this is selfish.
Yeah. So he said that earlier about, so you do have to be selfish.
You have to be selfish.
Really?
You have to be. There is no other way. Because if you're not selfish, then you're not willing to sacrifice what needs to be sacrificed. And what needs to be sacrificed is your own pleasure. And
Then we're the old guy and things. This is true.
It's all true. You know, so when I'm coaching fighters, when they get close to a fight, I don't let them be the B-side. Ever.
Wow.
You're never so you know, like, you do two, I'll do two. My fighters never let the other person do two. It's them the whole time.
Really?
That's it. You're not getting it. So if we're working double legs, the B-side they're never the B-side. They're doing all the moves. And I have to do that. I have to dictate that as coach, because I don't want my fighter to be a dick to their partner. And I tell the partner, listen, you're here to be the partner. They have a fight coming up. They're doing all the work. They're not getting you're not getting reps on them right now.
So how do y'all, so again, I'm around you guys, and like, I feel like, thank you guys for doing this, because there's parts of MMA that we don't saw. Like, we want to talk about the submission. Like, love you to death, man. I think you're amazing, but I think you're a touch of crazy. I know you're crazy, and like, but I wasn't there for you. But like, y'all like to do what y'all do. One, I feel like it's selfless, but then y'all say, well, I got to be selfish. But also, like, you put your bodies through so much. What are you trying to prove? Like, you don't even, like, from what I've listened to you, you're not even fighting anybody else. You're fighting yourself.
And that's the thing right there. It's not that you're trying to prove anything. It's that you're just fully expressing yourself. That's the freedom. When I was in a cage, it was like I finally got a chance to be free.
Yeah.
And it was a freedom that I couldn't explain, but it just felt good to just let that out of me. And that's why the persona came out, because that was another part of me. Like, if you meet me in life, you're like, man, he's kind of soft spoken, but then you compete against me. Now you're meeting another side of me. I'm gonna be a little bit braggadocious. I'm gonna be anything that I want to be in that moment, because
you can't stop me.
That's just who I am.
So how do y'all deal with this, you included, and not become arrogant? Because let's be honest, like, I love being y'all's friends, but it sucks because, like, trying to tell you something is like, I'm not getting beat up. You know what I'm saying? So how do you guys contain that animal to stop from becoming a jackass, and you can humble that beast? How do you humble that beast? Is it just in you? You know, like, what was it that brought you to where you like, because this sounds like if you don't control it, it can get out of control.
Well, you can feed the beast without feeding the monster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a monster in all of us. No. But you can feed that beast and just not give in. Like, I can be humble when is it fake humble, or is it like no it's really humble, and it's really understanding the fact that in order for me to step into the cage, there's a metamorphosis that has to happen inside of me. And I don't forget that process.
Do you visualize like a different version of you when you step into the cage? Like you're now.
It just kind of something that just happens as I get closer to the fight. It's kind of like me coming out of my chrysalis, and it's just something that just happens as I get closer to that time. But there's a process of me being like, okay, this is time. And now I can really allow myself to lean into that darker side of myself. But I don't forget the humbleness that it takes me to get there, because in that crossing, there's a bit of fear. There's a bit of anxiety. There's a bit of the, what if this happens? And the fight truly is within myself, riding that emotional roller coaster to make sure that no matter what devil pops on my shoulder, I'm going to see through it, that the best part of me comes out and perform on fight night.
One thing, so when you talk about managing that, a lot of fighters can't. A lot of fighters can't, and that's why you see a lot of fighters, they're assholes, and they can't manage it. And a good indication of it would be they switch management all the time. They switch teams all the time, because what happens is the management is trying to keep them in check. Hey, man, you're getting a little out of hand. Oh, no, I got to get a new management, somebody who's going to be a yes man to me. Or, oh, I need a new team because my team being negative. But it's really they keep trying to keep them in check because they're getting a little out of hand. So when you see fighters all the time switching camps, switching management, getting new this, getting new that, it's probably because they getting checked. And they not thinking if they getting checked, they thinking, oh, they get negative towards me.
Is that a good thing?
It's a bad thing.
No, I'm saying, is it a good thing for you? So you're a coach and you've coached people, and because you fought, you command a certain amount of respect, but is it, if you have a guy that is a great guy, do you risk losing him by saying, hey, I'm not tolerating this bullshit? Or do you let great ones be great? Because we've all come across great fighters that we make excuses for, right? But if you want to stand on that and make the better be the best out of him, because some managers want money, some managers are you trying to make a better human. What are you trying to make? A good fighter, good human being? Can they coexist?
I mean, it can coexist. It certainly coexists. I mean, it's a personality issue. But I think for the most part, I mean, everybody's a little bit different, and you got to understand what they want and what you want. And it has to be communication, and it has to all be, coherent. But if it's not, then you're going to have problems. Like for me, I won't work with a lot of people. I just won't. I'll refuse to.
Dean, but I'm going to be honest, ever since you got that platform, you're an asshole, because you call fighters out. No, you call fighters out. You
absolutely. I do that on purpose. I do that on purpose because they need to be checked.
Because I'm like, bro, you cannot sit here and talk about this man like you do.
You know why I can? Because unlike him, you want to go away, right? He wants to go away. I did not. I sacrifice my time for free. I go to gyms all over the country, all over the world, and give my time for free, give my knowledge for free, and they don't want to take it. And then when they fuck up in fights, I go, I gave you the fucking information, and you didn't want it. So I'm going to now have a platform to talk about you because I tried to give you this.
You're petty.
You're petty.
So let me ask you a question. Does y'all knowledge, because y'all old as shit, has the game changed so much that where your knowledge don't work for him? Because you're seeing guys do shit. We've talked about this. You're seeing these guys do things that it's like, damn, this dude did this move and now he's already on to the next one. Does y'all style of MMA still work? Well,
I mean, listen. MMA is MMA, and the best MMA will always be transitional MMA. It was back when I was fighting, and it's especially now. Transitional means that you go from one technique to the next, or one discipline to the next, without any tails. The next generation, this last generation, they're a lot better with transitional MMAs because they're starting out with MMA as a discipline as a whole, where we started off as compartmentalized arts where, I was a boxer, a wrestler, and then I blended in the jiu-jitsu and everything else like that. They're starting out already with that in place. So their transitional MMA is a lot better. But what it comes down to, and you're speaking about what Dean about before, is that when I have a fighter who I need to tell something to, I need to tell it to him not because I'm trying to not because I'm trying to be mean, but because I already know I can tell him this now, or I can tell him this when he loses. But at the end of the day, I need to tell him this, because when you have success, all your mistakes get overshadowed. Every single time I lost a fight, those losses have been baked into my wins. There were things that I overlooked while I was winning, but because I won, I just kept on making the same mistake. But eventually that mistake that I was making when I was winning ended up being the reason why I lost. So when you have a fighter, you have to be able to have a relationship with them enough where you're able to communicate with them like that. And, listen, like, I'm not against, like, hey, all right, you don't want to listen, we're going to grind it out. And I'm going to show you why you need to listen. Not saying I'm going to beat them up, but
that's exactly what you just
I'm going
said.
to grind them out. No.
You just said I'm going to fuck it up.
No,
That's exactly what you said. What you said is you don't want to listen, we're going to...
No, because I can't. I know I can't beat everybody that I train with, or who I'm training. These guys are big. They definitely can. But through us going together, I'm gonna let them know how fucking sick I am. Like, I'm gonna let them know that, yo, this is where I'm gonna go. I'll cover their mouth. I'll do shit that has nothing to do with winning, just to let them know that this is what this is
You're
about.
an asshole.
No, but I'm letting them know that.
And the fact that you giggle like, yo, sick. No, he's record. You're sick. You're covering up. You're a dirty fighter. What you're saying.
Know what this is.
Cheat my man, let him know, like, hey, and my man over here innocent, like, hey, and you're like, oh, let me cover your mouth, like.
By the way, I think like fighters these days probably go through like there's probably like a lot more mental health issues now than there was before because of social media. Like, they get instant feedback into their fight, and they look at the comments, and some of them take these comments seriously personally, and it fucks them up.
Yeah,
that's
very true.
Yeah, like,
social media fucks them up.
And then you fucking talking shit about him, like, oh, you don't got heart. Like, you know exactly what you be saying.
Yeah, I hope you don't read that shit and like paying attention to it, right? Like, you got to have, by the way, the more successful you are, the more haters you have. That's a good thing, right? And then you just tell them, like, to come speak to your face.
Not
Like,
only does the bad not even get inside, the good doesn't get inside either.
Yeah.
I'm literally just so...
That's a great way to put it.
I'm like this. Like, I know that this is the what have you done for me lately business. Something happens in a fight and you lose, people are going to criticize you. Something good happens. Oh my God, he's
so and it gets in your head.
Last fight, blah, blah. Man, I just know that that's external. What you think about yourself and how kind you are to other people, that's the stuff that I really want to focus on.
There's no way you're 20 years old now.
This is Blake.
Your dad must be an amazing guy.
All the black fighters that are acting like knuckleheads, it's good to know that this is our representative. Yeah. They ain't talking shit about people. Like you do.
No, I always said
You
this.
talk shit.
I told Johnny Eblin once. I said, Johnny, I'm gonna tell you your mistake 3 times. The next time you're gonna find out in a fight. I'm not telling you, but nowadays I go.
You saw like my mama. Rashad, I'm gonna tell your ass one time.
I said old people do it. No, but then now I don't have. Now it's like I'm gonna tell you 3 times, and then the next time I'm gonna tell the world on the UFC pre-show why you're fucking up. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's crazy, like, even to watch how you guys watch fights. Like, I love being around you because you don't watch fights like normal people. Like, you see knockouts before they happen. You're like, yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. Like, I give you shit about it, but 9 times out of 10, when you call something, you're like, yeah, I knew that was gonna happen because he does such and such. And you're the same way. I mean, you just called wins this weekend, and I'm like, Rashad, shit, you fucking jinx this person. And he's like, no, I knew that was gonna happen. So again, it's crazy to be around you guys, and it's crazy to see your mentality, because it's not a soft thing, but it's also like that warrior mentality. And you're not just saying that to say it. Like, he's like, bro, like, I'm ready to die for this, and it's the same thing. Like, you'll see Izzy be like, hey, I'm ready to die for this. And you guys are saying this stuff, but then, like, now I just thought you were saying it because it looked good. You motherfuckers are crazy.
No, I believe you.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah. Because Tate, you have to be a savage. Like, this is a savage game. You have to be able to meet that. I knew when I was done with the sport, when I looked across the cage and didn't feel the same way that my opponent was looking back at me. And I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah.
I felt like food. I didn't feel the same way. I didn't feel.
That's when you knew you were done?
That's when I knew I was done. I'm just like, you feel that.
Felt like food.
I felt like food.
That is horrible. That is.
This motherfucker's salivating, and I'm just kind of like, All right, it's going through the motion.
Yeah, I felt that I didn't feel like food, but I didn't feel like eating that guy.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I was just kind of like, let's get through this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last time I fought.
Wow.
So you know when it's like that's
Yeah, because I said it after I fought Glover and I lost and got knocked out, was that fight was so weird because usually there's a spirit that kind of like takes over where I'm just kind of like I can just click it and immediately I'm just in it. I'm ready, and this spirit is just ready to just fight. But that was really one of the first times I just couldn't feel it anymore.
Damn.
Wow.
And it felt like I lost my best friend because like it was a weird feeling because it's been my co-pilot for so long, but then it was just gone.
Do you feel like you have that person in you too? Like we all talk about the Hulk, like that David Banner, same thing. Like you have this alter ego with you where you're just like, okay. Because like I said, I've seen you mild-mannered, but then when I see you, when I wrap your hands and you see, because that's crazy too. Like people don't know, like when I wrap y'all's hands,
You could feel it.
y'all can go from the coolest people to the fucking raps come on, and it's like, you good? Like you hear me? Are you good? Like motherfuckers so dialed in. They're like, bro, like it's you know, like and it's funny because of the preparation. Like I've said on so many podcasts, I'm like, you sign that contract and you're here, and it's fight week and you're here, but when you come in, that fucker sits there and wrap your hands, all that shit's different. Even to the moment when they go, you're next. To when I see you in the prep point, like I've seen guys in the prep point where I'm like, this shit's about to be interesting. And also I've seen people in the prep point, I'm like, boy, you about to fuck you up. Like, you don't need to go in this cage right now, you know? So it's funny finally hearing you guys say, like, yeah, I got an alter ego. Like, I got a person. And you're like, man, that was my best friend. That person's got me through so much of life. That person's made me here. Like, do you still have that competitive nature being removed? You want to be the best Alice. You want to be this. Like, if we're in the gym, like, and you're training with somebody, you're like, motherfucker, I got one in me if you want to learn. Like, do y'all?
Not the least. I don't have it at all.
Wow.
At all.
I know you do because you're crazy.
Yeah, because what I've done since I've kind of stepped.
Well, your
away,
nephews are coming along. Sometimes you have to.
I got to, but what I figured out that feeling that it was just me enjoying suffering, because at the end of the day, this is a suffering contest, and you have to enjoy suffering. You have to enjoy doing the rounds where you can't even damn, I don't know if I can go again, but you keep going. And when you start to really enjoy that suffering, then that's when that spirit is kind of ignited.
The suffrage.
That stuff could bring tears to my eyes. How honest that moment is. That's the most truthful anything could ever be. People could tell you lies, they could tell you the truth, and you could never know. But in that moment of like feeling disdain and feeling uncomfortability and knowing that it's going to continue and there's nothing that you can do to leave that moment, and then you start to love it, you start to enjoy it, and you want to be there more. That's beautiful. That's where I want to be. That's where I'm.
But it gives you a sense of freedom to fight your best.
It's like this. Yeah. Like it's just beautiful, and like I don't even feel like I
Suffering gives you freedom.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, when
Please
you
elaborate.
when you come at peace with the idea and the realization that you actually might die.
Yes.
You have a sense of freedom to just fight your best.
Yeah, but this is like porn to this guy. Calm down.
Liberating. Don't be surprised if nobody wants to fight you after this podcast. I feel like this guy is fucking crazy.
The fact that you're like, so you're like, it's death. Like,
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like you have to be okay. You have to like embrace the idea that you might die, and then you can go out and just fight your best.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome it.
wow, y'all. Oh,
I would if I were a fighter, which obviously I'm not, but if I was and I heard you speak and then Dana White said you have to fight this guy or you got to retire, I'd retire. I'd be like, no.
the craziest thing is like, I've been around you guys and I've heard this, but like, it's not just talk. You understand what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all I'm in the back. Now I hear, I'm like, this motherfucker about to lose. Like, the hype ones in the back are not the ones that, it's the motherfuckers just sitting over there like this, like.
Because they're okay with it.
Like, and I never, thank you for articulating that to me, because I never knew that that's where they were at mentally, where it was just like, You know,
like here's the thing. It's like I always call. It's like to me, it's like bungee jumping. Like once you get up there, you jump.
the sport black people do. I don't do.
I mean, but think about it, it's like bungee jumping. Like once you jump, it's no longer in your control. So like, if you can just jump, you can do it. But in a fight, like you have to be there for 15 minutes. So it's so much more difficult. Like you have to be in this position where like you don't really have control of what's going on. And anything can happen, but you still have to be calm and be ready and embrace it and then follow the plan and do all your shit. It's not just jumping and then everything else takes care of itself. That's why people have these adrenaline dumps, because they get in a fight and they just jump, and then as soon as it's over, they're like, what happened? But motherfucker, you got 14 more minutes to go.
Yeah. And that right there is it, like getting rid of that fear of not knowing when it's gonna end. Like when you just like, I don't care when it's gonna end, this has become my permanent state. I'm with it. And then you look at across the cage and you see this person waiting for that suffering to end, and there's a fear along with it. You fear that because you've been to that place before, and you just like, I want a good fight, but I hate that feeling of dealing with the fear of just not knowing what it's going to end. When you're in there and 1 minute feels like fucking 10 minutes, and you just and each second you can feel each second, because when you're in there, like you become so present that time stand still. You're seeing a punch and it looks like it's going by like that, and then you throw a punch and then you just like, damn, I'm feeling slow as shit. But then when you watch it back on video, the punches were flying, but because you're so present in that moment, that time stood still.
What is it like to look across the cage and know, like, I broke it? Even as a coach, because you're coaching, when you see that and you're like, bro, that motherfucker's done.
Oh, it's a good feeling.
And then like for you, like when you look and you're like, because I know you've had adversity in the cage, you've had it, but have you been tested in the cage? And have you had that moment where it was coming back and you like, fuck, like?
Never. I've of course, like actually, like in my pro debut, I got hit pretty hard. I hit like a little stumble, but never in my life have I felt like that feeling of receding and going back. It's like this. It's like when the adversity hits, go. It's like when it gets tougher, go. Are the challenges are objectively bigger? Beautiful. I'm making myself even more free, and that's when it's more beautiful. The bigger the arena, the bigger the show, the bigger someone thinks the challenge is.
Oh man, this is crazy to me.
I love everything.
I wish the best for you, man. Like I hope
That's
this all
crazy,
comes
like,
out,
yo.
because like this is so. It's beautiful to hear these words come out of his mouth. It is.
Okay, so y'all telling me like this is not normal. Is that what you're saying to me?
Well, it's not that it's. I mean, it's where you want them to be.
Because I've heard guys be like, man, I'm terrified. I've heard people say, I'm terrified to go in the cage. Or, this is,
But like, no, normally they'll just lie about, I'm gonna kick his ass.
But being terrified is not a bad thing. It's part of the process of getting you to be ferocious.
Absolutely.
Like you can't, like that's one thing, like people will be like, oh man, I don't want to feel this way or that way. And it's like, you're thinking it the wrong way, because they're basing that feeling, not wanting to feel that way, based off of how they feel when they're not in a fight situation. You have to recalibrate your understanding of normal when you get ready for a fight. And when you get ready for a fight, it's normal to be afraid. It's normal to feel very confident 1 second and very insecure the next. And that's where the true fight is. The true
and
fight
all this
is
is going on while you're fighting. No.
This is before. This is before. When you fight, that's when all of that stops. When you're fighting, it's like, yo, I can't believe I was worried about this shit all day.
Yeah. So what does that feel like? You fought, you're successful, you achieved your goal. Like, are you on this high? Or are you just like more? Like, what are you
Absolutely
going?
more? Yeah, I have a big problem with as soon as the fight's over, you just want to fight. Like, I feel empty. I just know at that point when I was in that cage, I'm just feeling so free. I'm like, I can express myself in my most truest ways without words. I'm screaming. I'm so happy. I got smiles on my face and everything. And not that I'm not like that outside of it, but it's just different. It's like, this doesn't feel right. This just feels, I feel like I'm on edge and there's no way to like release that.
So you're not going to the club after and partying?
Never.
You're back at work.
And it's never like a switch that flips for me. I'm not like a type of guy that's just like, all right, like I'm in this mode now. I feel like a loaded bow and arrow 24/7. And then when I get to compete, it's like this. But I feel like this all day. And I swear, I feel so bad.
This motherfucker's a killer, bro.
Man, when your next fight? I can't wait to fight it.
I tell you what, internally, admit it.
You were supposed to fight in January, right? Are you supposed to fight in January? When we fight?
Maybe a little bit later. I'm just waiting on some extra stuff. But admittedly, I truly feel like bad because I feel like I'm not like I'm lying about myself, but like how I feel inside, like this loaded all the time, is not the way that I'm articulating myself and how calm I'm speaking. It's like I'm going insane inside. I'll start wanting to tear up when I speak about the intensity and the love that I have for competition.
Were you like that? Were y'all like this at one point?
Like I need.
Then y'all had.
Yeah. I mean, look,
It didn't. I don't know how long you've been like this, but for me, it's a window. Like it's hard to sustain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
Absolutely.
so for me, it wasn't. Mine wasn't that long. I mean, it came in waves, but so I hope you can sustain it. That's the key.
mm-hmm. and
Like, what advice do y'all like? Cause y'all.
Well, I would say this. I would say what he needs to do is he needs to write this feeling down, write it down, and really become friends, because that what he writes down is going to be his true north. It's going to lead him back, because success will pull you out of it. Success will, and it will do it slowly.
Glasses in the club.
Yeah, it'll do it slowly. Like, for instance, he'll get more opportunities, and that opportunity means that maybe he gets to spend a little less time alone, and then miss training and whatnot, and it pulls you slowly away from it, to the point where you're trying to find a black box and be like, damn, where do I deviate? And it always through convenience, as we were talking about. Your drive gets killed with convenience.
My dad used to say, and it was probably the best advice. I give it to my kids. It's show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And that's the one thing I think you need to remember, because you're gonna get a lot of friends. Like both sides.
I don't want to like, but is it good to be like this 24/7?
Both you guys saying that. I'm way ahead of schedule. I have no friends, not a single one. Look. I'm not.
I don't know if you got the lesson though.
Right, and tell you.
No, you
don't have a single friend.
It's okay to have friends.
No, I don't have a single friend. Of course, I have my coaches and my people that are close to you. And if they're close to me like that, I consider them family. I don't want any friends. I know that people change. I can speak like this now, all nice and intense and all he's on the come up and blah, blah, blah. People change. So everyone is human. You get a certain amount of attention. Yeah. You start to think that you can get away with other things. You're speaking about a journal. Right now at home, I have a black journal sitting on my counter. All those feelings articulated and depicted perfectly. And I know that those are the feelings and that those are the things that I need to keep my mind on. That's why I have my mattress on the floor. That's why I don't have certain things in my fridge. That's why I don't put pictures up on the walls. I take pleasures away from myself. I take certain happiness a normal human would have away from me. I rob myself of those things because I want to keep myself in a hungry state 24/7, because I know that I'm also human and people change when you feel things, when you feel different attention, when you get higher and people are talking about you, the noise. I say it doesn't hit me, and it doesn't. But the noise, and when people say things about you and they say things that make you feel different about yourself, I know that I know nothing. This is what I do, and I'm only a man. I'm no greater or no less than any man. This is what I get to do, and I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to do my best to achieve my goals, but that's it. I'm not special. I'm not special. I'm a man. A belt doesn't make me special. A certain amount of money doesn't make me special. How kind I am to other people, once again, is what I'm going to prioritize, because every single person is going to have to answer for their deeds.
And I like this nigga.
Nah, yeah, but man, you have to keep this, and you have to hold on to it, because this game will rip you in half.
If I get a certain amount of money, I'm showing my ass.
You do it now with no money.
I am not ever going to keep pleasures from me for bruh. Like, hearing you speak at it, like, I'd have been better if I'd have been 28 like this. Like, do you remember being 28?
Yeah.
Like, I know you got to do some numbers. The 28, but like,
28,
but I mean, like, have y'all seen anything like this? Like, as far as like on the roster, like who on the roster right now has that? Like, I know Yuri does. I like Yuri.
Yeah, Yuri has a good.
Like, this dude has that philosophy where he's like, I'm depriving myself of certain pleasures just so I can keep my eyes focused on.
Yeah, the mattress on the floor and the no pictures on the walls. Yeah. It's like, and the hunger, wanting to have the hunger is something that, you know, I can't believe it's at 28.
It kind of reminds me of John Danaher. You know, that's how he lived in New York City. Like his, you know, he slept on mats in his house. You know what I'm saying? And he just lived that life, and it paid off because he's arguably one of the best jiu-jitsu coaches of all time. One of them, you know, he's definitely up there. But I mean, you know, the question is it sustainable? Right.
That's my point, right?
That's
hard to sustain.
But only you're going to have to, and what you don't foresee yet is you're going to have to recalibrate. Because you're going to change.
Absolutely. Like,
but you have.
Are you in a relationship? No. Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna have to recalibrate, and you're gonna have to at some point be like, okay, well, what at 28, this is what I felt, but this is what I knew. Right. The more you know, the more things are gonna change in your mind, but you have to be able to say, you know what, this is my true north. And when I'm competing at my best, this is what brings me back to that.
What better challenge to welcome? What better thing to welcome to know the true contents of your soul when things get dicey and when you feel yourself start to think of yourself in ways that's bigger than reality, and when the challenges change and when you start seeing yourself different and you need to adapt. What better thing for a man to do to find out who he truly is outside of fighting, whatever, to know who you are in here, forget the noise, and to figure out what direction I need to go in order to get myself right, so I can get myself right to compete, so that I can win, so I can help my people and put a smile on my Father's face. And this is all I have to do, is I need to arrange myself internally, figure out my thoughts, figure out where my heart lies. What better thing to welcome? That's it. That's the arm.
See what I'm saying? Look, I mean, we can end on that note.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
It's a mic drop.
I just can't wait to see your next fight. It's going to be, I can't wait to see it.
Bro, that's crazy. If y'all would have been like this, we would have been.
We bullshit.
Too good to the top. Bullshit. He got the sunglasses on in the club and shit. And I'm just sitting over here. I picked the wrong friends.
Did you pick the wrong? Well, hold on. Hold on. It was because of you giving me an IV. See, this is what I'm the one who brought Tate into the game. All right.
That's what we're doing.
Oh, I did not.
Before Tate, no bell.
No bell.
One hand watching the other.
Like, I love no bullshit. Like, I could talk this shit with y'all every day because I love MMA like that. And I've never competed, but like meeting him and talking to him and listening to him and like understand. That's why I try to make people understand what's so amazing about this sport. It's different. It is a different sport. It's not like, I'm not shitting on other sports, but it's suffering. It's sacrifice. And I'm not telling you other sports don't have it, but it's man to man. Am I the better man? And a lot of times it's man against self. Am I the person? Can I go to the gym? Can I push myself to that breaking point? Cutting weight. I remember trying to cut weight with you at one time. Like, that shit in itself is a mental mindfulness. Like, put a minute song on. Them fucking songs felt like they were 8 minutes. I'm like, God damn, Tate, you know, so it's very few sports where there's so much self-sacrificing to yourself like an MMA sport, because at the end of the day, it's just you in there. And you know if you did the work. You know, like 9 times out of 10 when the fuckers sitting there and they done got beat, they know what they did, why they got beat. They knew they were beat before they went in the cage, and the coaches do too.
Yeah, we know.
We can be in the back talking, say, oh yeah, we got this motherfucker, yeah, we're gonna fight everybody. But the coaches and the fighters know, man, yeah, this ain't, you know. And it's great to see a guy get beat and repurpose himself and come back, like a Yusuf, you know, out of the UFC.
Yeah.
Come back in the UFC and start winning. So again, all these things are them fighting each other, but it's also them fighting themselves to see if they can do it.
You said it best, man. It's a cerebral game. You know, it's like one of the best things that you'll ever do to get to know yourself, because only you can help you walk into that cage. And a lot of that work, it happens when nobody's watching. And I find a fighter, and I know and I learn what he does by himself, I'll let you know if he's going to be a champion or not, because a lot of fighters just do what they need to do in practice, but it's the ones who become obsessed about it, like how he talks, and I'm sure like how he does, that really separate themselves amongst the elite. Because you got to understand, in the UFC, you're a star amongst stars. Everybody who makes it to the UFC, they were champions in some other regional circuit, and some even at big organizations as well too. So in order to stand out against them, it's all about how much you're willing to sacrifice over them.